Hailing frequencies are open! Welcome back, everybody, to Shield of Tomorrow, the Star Trek Adventures RPG show here on Geek and Sundry. Hi, guys. How y'all doing? Happy 2018. We are back.
Pretty good.
We did it.
Yeah, we're doing it.
What's the Star Trek equivalent to, like, end-of-year holidays? That still happens, right?
I don't know.
Or did they, like, do away with that? No, there's still... Is there, like...
I mean,
There
considering...
aren't really a lot of them. I was trying to look up. There isn't even really that definitive a date for Federation Day.
And
there
the
are
really-
4 different ones.
Sure.
Honestly, because Star Trek conveniently just sort of navigates around all the temporal distortion that takes place when you travel interstellar.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they bother with it anymore.
Yeah, you'd have to hand wave.
Because technically, when you guys in the Sally Ride, the first time you guys returned to Starbase 1, y'all would probably be like the same age, and everyone would be, God knows how much older.
What?
Well, that is
Based
the
off
advantage of FTL. Like, if
based
you're
off of the
traveling in
theory of
impulse,
relativity.
you'd see a way more dramatic relativistic effect.
Well, also keep in mind, you guys have had close proximity to a black hole as well. So, if we're going to get technical...
Hey,
Man, we haven't even started the episode.
This is like a Christopher Nolan movie.
Oh, right.
We have no idea what you're talking about,
true.
Eric. We were
I'm
never
not-
anywhere near any black holes ever.
I don't know what we're talking about. By the way,
It's okay.
last episode of Doctor
No
Who,
one told me that was part. Okay.
so good. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and start things.
The same way.
Let's go ahead and start things off today. We don't really have any big announcements except that, of course, all our love to Modifius and Anovos and everyone who helps make the show happen, including all our friends at Star Trek Online who we adore. I got to speak to a lot of you in the Aux crew over the holidays, checking out the Discord chat, and it was always a lot of fun checking out and seeing what y'all are up to. Most of y'all were snowed in. And so this is our new time slot. Obviously, moving forward, we've moved off Monday nights, which will take some getting used to. And so hi to all our UK viewers who can actually watch us live.
Oh,
What time is it over there?
It's
Like
late.
midnight?
It's getting late. It's getting late, but it's not 3 a.m. late.
Oh,
it's
cool.
midnight. Hours.
So yeah, let's see. What else do we have to... Oh, that's right. We have stuff. I got stuff. We got stuff.
Is it time for
first
Sam?
things.
More stuff than
We'll start with Sam loses their shit. That's a good way to start 2018.
That's a good start.
I think it's a good way to start 2018.
Yes,
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's do
wow.
it.
Sammy's
I already
gonna
know what it
lose
is,
that
and
shit.
I don't know what it is.
Ooh, I don't know what it is either.
Point
It's a
of
box.
surprise.
They got me a box.
There's probably packing stuff in there too.
Happy box.
To be fair, you would also love a box.
You're like
You'd be very
some
appreciative.
kind of betazoid or something.
I know.
There's
I
packing
know.
stuff in this box. And there's a box in the box. And there's
Told you.
only one thing that this can be.
Yeah.
Is it a replacement for
It's
the thing you were just
ammunition.
saying
That
you were
I
running low on?
was just saying I was running low on, and I said I would tell
That's
y'all
crazy.
when we're getting, but like,
Do you need a knife?
144 more pencil.
Yay!
Yes. Fun fact: the Borg patrol the northern edge of the Beta Quadrant.
Oh,
Which
no.
is where we are now,
Oh, no.
Hi.
is what Sam informed us of before we started this.
I have no comment.
But also good
If they
news.
show up, I will actually just break this entire box.
Somebody.
Also good news.
Oh!
Phantom snap!
Yep. Our all-knowing interface has just
right.
snapped a pencil.
We got another one.
And hang on, I have to real quickly thank Piper's twin.
Yeah,
who has
Piper's
kept
Of
me in
course, it's
supply.
Piper's twin. Friend of the show, Piper's twin. Aux crew member, Piper's twin. So this was sent by Kenneth. And Kenneth, I'm sorry, I'm going to slaughter your last name, which sucks because it's such a beautiful last name.
Just do it good.
Sondergaard.
That sounds good.
Ooh,
It's-
that just sounds
nice.
like he's
It
like a
sounds
knight.
Norwegian. I apologize if I got that wrong. I know how the
I
feel like
Swedes and
Velik would love it.
Norway are
Very
kind of like not.
Dignified act.
Here's Snorkel Borlusk.
Kenneth.
But unfortunately, Kenneth, just so you know, your message actually cut off, which is a drag. It says, "Hey, a gift. Hi, Eric. A gift to you, and one extra to do with as you V."
Very well,
Bill.
please. Very well,
Very
please.
well, please. If it's Bill,
But
then-
it's a drag that cut off. But I tell you, when I opened this up in the office, I freaked the hell out, and so did Eliza. Kenneth sent us the Women of NASA.
Oh yeah. Oh
So we
yeah.
now
Can we play?
we have 2 of them.
Can we play?
So we have.
I have a
We
surprise
have
for you about women in
Nancy
space,
Grace
Bonnie.
Roman.
Oh.
We have Margaret Hamilton, who is, of course, instrumental in the
Yes.
Apollo program. We have, of course, a natural favorite for Eliza. We have the Star Trek alumni Mae Jemison.
Yay.
Did I get her name wrong? Jemison.
Jemison.
I thought I'd stumble it. And then, of course, we have a one Sally Ride.
Ooh, who's
That
she?
is so
Just-
cool.
And Jemison and Ride come with a shuttle, a space
Yeah.
shuttle.
Oh, that's so perfect.
That's
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
good.
Ride. This
Now
is
we
so-
just have to put
I
them
was-
right next to our model of the Sally Ride, and they can be a crew.
Margaret Hamilton. Remember that great picture of her standing next to that
Yeah.
stack? She comes with the stack. Like, the Lego.
so cool.
She comes with that stack of papers next to her.
Okay,
It's
well,
I
I
need
know
to
what
go
I'll
get
be
one of
playing
those and like throw it at a random
we're-
kid on the street.
We're gonna totally share this. You know what I wish we could do? I wish we could build like a ship's. You know how Picard has like a ship's wall in the meeting room. It'd be
Oh, we could
rad
do
if
that.
We could have that, and I
We
just
could do
have
that.
like Sally and.
Oh.
So thank you, Kenneth. When I heard this was being released, I was super excited, and I didn't.
Yeah, I think we all had a collective Twitter
It's
freak out
one
over it.
of the coolest things Lego's ever done.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
So
That
I'm
It's
not
pretty rad.
having an easy time thinking of something cooler that they've done.
It's true.
keep
All
at
right,
it, Lego.
What else we got?
I'm told that everything else is in character, so I'm going to
Character?
skip ahead on that. So,
Okay.
unless there's any other announcements.
Oh, I have something cool. Library Bards was in the top 10 for the Dr. Demento show of the year.
Oh, I heard about
So
that.
yeah, in the top
Amazing.
10, yeah.
It's
For
weird how
2017.
talented people tend to get noticed like that.
It was just cool, because Dr. Demento is the bomb.
So are the library bards. So it makes sense.
That is very
I'm just saying.
Shut
Yeah,
you
that's very
guys.
true.
Oh,
These
here's
things
an
are
announcement
name.
for all of you watching right now. Right after this show is Gather Your Party.
Yeah.
And the theme, I don't know if they announced the theme. Did they announce the theme? Am I allowed to say the theme?
They did.
It's
Yes.
Gather Your Gatsby, and the band Windows
No,
to
what?
Sky will be singing. And guess who's with them?
Bon Jovi.
Yes!
Oh my God. I hate
Bon
that guy.
Jovi
Similar
Gordon.
name.
Yeah.
Really good drag name for you.
Yeah, hello,
Bonnie
Jovi.
Jovi.
I'm Bon Jo.
Bonnie Jove.
And Jovi.
used to work in the dark. Okay, well, stop.
My name is Bon and Jovi.
You're a very dear friend, Eric.
Thank you.
And
All right. Well,
I'm done.
Eliza is
haven't
running a little
slept.
late, but she's just going to jump in when she gets here. So I think we are.
She's
ready
doing
to-
the science. She's in her lab.
She's sciencing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have something? This is a little out of character. Hold on, everybody. Yes.
Yeah, it is out of character.
Yes, Sam.
You
Can
see,
we-
because I'm smiling.
Ah, right. Yes. I see what you did.
So, it's
Yeah.
a new year,
Uh huh.
and I'm exactly where I want to be in the whole wide world with my crew. And I'm excited!
Ah, yes, yes, I can see that. Yeah.
Okay, now
That
we can
does-
start.
Yep.
That does seem to hold true. Yes.
Now it's
Yeah.
Okay.
Paper out.
Now we can officially start. So
Yeah.
we'll be right back. Hey, and welcome back. During our title sequence, I actually discovered, thanks to Devin, that Lego set's from Woms. Who, by the way, Woms, I totally know that you gifted me with a sub to Havana's Twitch stream, so thank you for that, because I was literally about to click subscribe, because Havana was having a subscription drive over the holiday break, and I was checking it out. She runs the funniest stream when she's running. She plays a GTA. It's an RPG GTA. It's so funny.
RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
where she just drives around on her moped and like talks to people. It's
That's
my
great.
gosh.
I highly recommend it.
She's very funny.
RPGs are great.
Yeah, it is so funny. I watched her get pulled over by the cops because she parked her moped on the sidewalk and had like the whole exchange was absolutely, it was priceless.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
like only comedy you can find on Twitch. So, all right. So let's go ahead and jump into Shield of Tomorrow. How do you recap an entire season? Let's just wrap this up by saying you guys made it through Klingon space. You managed to cut through the safety corridor, which was not the only way through the Klingon space. The Federation can traverse back and forth. However, definitely the fastest way through Klingon space took you, how long was it, Sam? Do you remember? I'm
Given that was not entirely canonically solidified, not going to go there.
18 hours.
It was because remember, the travel time there and back, it's supposed to be a 6-month deployment.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe it's a 90-day trip.
Yeah. So it was a long trip for the Sally Ride, getting through Klingon space. Lots of light years to cross.
Would you say it's been a long road?
It has been a long road. Getting from there to here.
No.
It's been a long, yeah.
No. I have my ukulele. I will play it.
No, okay. We can't get sick.
PTSD.
How you doing?
Oh man, I miss Star Trek Vegas. Okay, back to the game. So
I forgot to make an announcement.
Okay.
Too
fire
late.
away.
Star Trek The Experience, it's the 20th anniversary today of when they opened, and they're having a big reunion today in Vegas, and I had to miss it because I'm here.
Because you're too busy on.
Because I'm
serving on
too
board a
busy
starship.
flying through Federation
Too busy
space.
trekking to trek.
Exactly. So I told them I would give them a shout out on the air because I think they're sitting at a bar in Vegas watching on their phone.
Oh, no kidding! Shout out to
Yeah,
Star Trek
Star Trek Experience.
I got to meet y'all.
Reunion is
I got to meet some
happening
of y'all.
tonight in Vegas. All the actors and the cast and Quarks and everyone is there.
Amazing.
Sorry, that slipped my mind. Go back. Back
You made it through.
Cap.
You made it through Klingon space, and you managed to arrive at Narendra Station. As of course you remember, you also had a very tearful farewell to Sally Ride's resident newly discovered life form, Janine Plantface. You managed to find an uncharted world to set her down on that was a few light years from the station. In a quick dash, y'all managed to, essentially arriving at Narendra Station a little late by a few days, you managed to find a nice, you managed to find a nice uncharted planet to set her down on and come back and not tell anybody in Starfleet exactly what it was you did. Beaming an entire Orion shuttlecraft down to the surface and leaving her to adapt, which last sensor readings indicated that she actually was, which is not surprising considering, as far as you can tell, Ginny is probably the most advanced biological life form you've all come in contact with. It's thanks in no small part to the fact that she is a product of the Genesis torpedo. But we don't talk about that. Returning to Narendra Station, you guys had docked and were getting settled in when we had an interesting scene between Captain Martinez and I believe her name is Tanya Moore, the sister of Caleb Moore, the gentleman who took the fall for you during the Kobayashi Maru test back in Starfleet, and she informed you that he had passed away, but that he had no regrets, that he was quite happy in the course he had chosen. Apparently Caleb was looking for a way out of Starfleet and saw his opportunity as an engineer, someone who liked to build things to help people. He just saw taking the fall from Martinez doing something stupid as another way of helping Starfleet. And it turns out, as Martinez had become a captain of one of the latest science vessels, your being in the position you are in proved Caleb completely correct. And where we left off was on the promenade with you relaxing. However, our session today is actually going to begin 1 week later, because what the crew of the Sally Ride has discovered upon the arrival at Narendra Station is the situation here is not what you were expecting and clearly not what Starfleet knew about. Narendra Station is currently under the flag of the Klingon Empire. As it turns out, Narendra Station was a joint effort between the Federation and the Klingons when this station was built, and part of that effort was to staff it with Klingons. In fact, the Klingon Empire, 60% of this station is staffed with Klingons. They have their own levels down below, as well as their own officers and whatnot that sort of mill about the station. But Starfleet was not prepared for a war to break out when it happened.
How many is 60%?
I don't have an exact number for you, but it's a lot more than what you got. But I will say this, though.
Right, I mean, how many
Ship-wise,
hours do I have to spend punching Klingons?
you need
I
to
wanna
run through the
theoretically
halls.
clear the
Well, you know
stage.
the old Klingon proverb, 1,000 throats can be slit in one night by a running man.
I want a montage.
Or in this case, a running NB.
a running room. A montage.
Yeah. So, the situation has been a bit of a shock to the system to arrive only to discover that even though you're technically in Federation space, you're not really. Upon what you've discovered is upon the declaration of war by Chancellor Gowron and the Klingon High Council, apparently what happened is the Klingons that were in partnership on the station he had an immediate sit-down meeting, and over the course of 2 days came to an arrangement with the Admiralty of the station. The Klingons have control of the station. The Federation personnel here have been allowed to continue their work with a lot of conditions.
Like what?
Here's some information for you. The station is under the command of Admiral April Herbert. April is a brilliant, and she was given the Admiral bars because she was known to be a fearless captain and a skilled negotiator. Her counterpart on the station is a Klingon by the name of General Kargan.
I'm gonna guess Kargon.
A.N.
Ah.
Close.
Okay.
And interesting point for any of y'all interested in this. General Kargan is actually a canonized Star Trek character.
From what?
Yes.
Where? What?
General
What episode?
Kargan. Remember that great episode where Riker joins the exchange program?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh sure.
He was a captain of that bird of prey back then.
So now he's a general.
So now he's a general, which is interesting because that was not a good episode for him. He
Some
was
people
a
get
jackass
stuck
in that
in
episode.
grade forever captaining a bird
He
of
was a
prey.
jackass in that episode?
Some men get bumped up to general.
Apparently,
No.
whatever
Girl
the
commodities.
trajectory of his career has been, Kargan has managed to apparently maneuver himself. Whether he has demonstrated the capacity to learn from his mistakes or not, whatever the cause, not only did he manage to advance to the rank of general, but he was put in command of all the forces of Klingon staff here on Narendra Station.
What house is he allied with?
You're not sure.
Good to know.
Captain Yukab of the Dauntless didn't mention any of this.
Nah, there's more to come.
Okay.
There's more to come with the Dauntless here in a second.
But wait,
Yeah,
there's
I'm
more.
setting up what you guys have stumbled into.
Yeah.
You expected to arrive at Narendra Station to get some rack and some relief from everything you went through, only to discover that you are guests in your own home.
No rest for the Sally.
I first realized it when
Mind, so.
I went to the bar and asked the bartender for a drink, and he turned around and it was a Klingon.
Dun dun dun! Blood wine!
I was like, sure, all right.
For the most part,
that's weird.
the Federation staff has been allowed to keep their quarters and everything else like that. But what you all did discover is all the cargo ships, the Excelsior class starship, all that stuff leaving when you all arrived was actually an evacuation of non-essential personnel that were given permission to go back to Federation space, not through Klingon territory, however. So they got a long journey ahead of them.
Ooh, yeah. They gotta go around.
But essentially non-essential personnel to the Federation staff have left. So a lot of civilians have left. Only the non-essential staff. But a lot of the people that were operating here, like traders and whatnot, that were starting to set up shop here, most of them have left. The only people that have stuck around are the unaligned. For example, there is a Ferengi trading station on Narendra Station. Yes. Because there's a lot of opportunity, and I'll get to that in a second, because that has a lot to do with the Shackleton Expanse and what you guys have learned about it since you've arrived.
Can you refresh me real quick? What was Tanya?
Tanya?
Moore?
What was she?
What was Tanya doing on the station?
Tanya's a
Was she-
civilian contractor. She
Okay.
is, Tanya.
Was she non-essential personnel or was she essential?
She is a
personnel?
civilian surveyor and geologist. She has actually stuck around. She's
Okay.
she is one of the aspects of what the mission out here is not only to explore the Shackleton Expanse, but possibly look for places for resources as well
Sure.
as possible colonization. It's safe to say that has been put on hold, as the Klingons probably aren't going to be that keen on letting you guys colonize the Shackleton Expanse.
But she's finding resources, which may
Yes.
help with the Klingons.
I'll tell you this, because sitting here for a week, you've gotten a lay of the land and probably
Yeah.
spoken to Tanya a few more times. She is literally going crazy right now because she is having to sit on her ass.
Yeah, she can't do her work.
A lot of
no.
a lot of civilians who can't. When things had been starting to shift around a lot. They have not been allowed to do their jobs, essentially. I'm getting totally distracted because there's obviously a secret conversation happening between Rue and Mala right now.
I don't know what you're talking
I don't know what you're
about.
talking about. My favorite GIF is still of you and Xander turning towards each other.
Yeah,
Still to this day is my favorite GIF.
Eric, were there any like currently happening Starfleet missions or jobs that have been taken over by Klingons that are now? That
No,
the
but
Klingons
there have been a lot that have been stopped.
Okay.
And I'll get to that in a second. So what you've learned from the Admiral, the situation in the Shackleton Expanse right now, is essentially the reason why Narendra Station has been allowed to continue to operate are for these mitigating circumstances. One, it has absolutely no strategic importance with the war in the Federation. They're not saying it, but it's not completely out of question that the Klingons want to continue to honor what Narendra Station was built for and the colonists that died in the attack that the Enterprise C intercepted. The Federation has also been under the guidance of the Admiral. The Federation has been very accommodating. She is not provoking the Klingons at all. She immediately conceded control of the station to them, which
Smart.
yes was actually strategic in the long run.
Yeah.
She's known for seeing the bigger picture, and she knew exactly. So when the general came in and basically said the station is ours, she said so it is, basically. The station it's been handed over to the Klingons, and it's functioning sort of like a vassal station, even though it's technically a Federation station under the flag of the Klingon Empire. You guys are still operating, but you're doing everything with permission, if that makes sense. The reason why all of this has happened is because with only one Klingon starship out here, 3 Federation starships are left, and the station itself, the Klingons do not have the resources to take and hold this station. They can't just take Narendra from you without it being incredibly detrimental to the fact that they would now be without a stronghold, because the Federation's going to have safeguards. They're not going to just let the Klingons take it. They can turn this entire place into a giant hunk of metal if they need to.
So here's what I want to know. You said that we've been here a week now,
A week.
and that we've all gotten a lay of the land. Our mission is to continue journeying forth into the Shackleton Expanse.
You haven't received your official orders just yet, but yes, the overlaying mission for the Sally Ride is to explore the Shackleton Expanse.
I'm hesitant to withdraw an incredibly powerful Federation ship if that can tip the balance at all. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Now I feel like I want us to hang around.
So as I continue
Right.
telling the information, I'll tell you, the Admiral, she would tell you the Sally Ride would not make a difference. Only because of the position everyone is in. So right now, Narendra Station is in sort of a neutral. We're in like a neutral lock. It's a powder keg that could go off at any moment because of the exchange between Federation and Klingons here. For example, the chief engineer of the station, Klingon. Chief medical officer, Klingon. The chief science officer, the person that's heading up all the research division, is actually a Betazoid civilian. So there's not a whole lot of Starfleet in command of the station, but there are 3 ships out here. It was going to be 4, but the Dauntless has been recalled back to Federation space for the specific reason because offering to help the Sally Ride when you guys were coming in almost provoked the Klingons on Narendra Station. And so in order to keep the peace, the Admiral has ordered the USS Dauntless to return to Starbase 1 and await further orders.
What?
So they're going to have to go the long way.
Through Romulan space?
No, remember, the galaxy out here is about 4,000 light years thick. So they're basically going to have to go up and over. They can't go through the Klingon Empire. It's where you guys were able to cut straight through Klingon space to get where you're going. It's going to take them a little over double the amount of time to get back home.
Z-axis.
It's like over a year.
And it may not be.
Galaxy.
And also
shit.
too, even though the Klingons are not focused on people, they're focused on the front lines because they're dealing with Cardassians and the Federation right now. It's still not going to be a safe journey, but it's that or we take it.
Here's what I want to know.
Sure.
Does the presence of the Sally Ride incite any...
No. And the reason why, again, getting to
Yeah.
it, is one of the things that has helped keep things moving out here is the fact that you guys are able to move forward because you are a science vessel. Galaxy class is a mighty powerful vessel.
Yeah.
It's having a battleship in your backyard. And the Klingons, when the Dauntless offered to help you guys, Captain UCAB was ordered back to Fed space.
Got it.
So
we're not seen as a threat. We're not tipping the balance in any way. We're not even our presence, because you mentioned that the station's a powder keg. That makes me not want to leave the station in case something goes off.
The Admiral,
Sir, that would be provocative.
The Admiral is telling you,
hanging out like we're expecting a fight, we'd get one.
honestly, the thing is the Admiral is telling you that if something goes wrong, the Sally Ride can respond. But honestly, she has Kargan's word that they were going to honor the stalemate that they're at right now. She's also informed you a little bit about the General, so you know who you're dealing with. Having a week to settle into what's going on around here, she's told you a few things about him that's kind of made it a little more plausible as to why the Klingons are honoring this. First of all, Kargan has been convinced that strategically, in the long run, this is in his best interests, because he doesn't have the resources to take the station. But also because she has gotten the impression on multiple occasions, I can't just keep running the game with you lingering in the wings, Talon.
Come on! It sounded good.
So literally just bringing us up to speed.
Yeah. Okay. So at Talon's funeral, what you guys discover is...
Eric, no.
And now we have a Talon Vulcan ghost on the ship, part of the crew.
Captain, Force Ghost.
Force Ghost.
Force Ghost,
Crossing
that's
our
right.
fandoms.
Just start number one.
So one of the things that, another things that she's told you, being the negotiator that she is, one of the things that she's told you about General Kargan is that he is yet another Klingon that is a little unhappy that Gowron pulled the trigger on a war with the Federation. Kargan, in the past, considering his contact with the Federation, hasn't been that, what you guys know of him just from the personnel file that Riker brought back from the Enterprise. I can tell you that Kargan, at least in the past, is known to be essentially, for lack of a better Trekkie way of putting it, a dickhead, and is very not amenable to the Federation, at least the old references. General Kargan, though, however, seems to have broadened his horizons a little bit, perhaps why he was promoted. He's mostly bitter that he's not off fighting the Cardassians right now, because her impression is that he's more interested in the Dominion threat, which he's
Which
convinced.
we should all be.
Yeah. Which everyone
I
should
mean,
be.
guys.
Agreed.
And he's also a little bitter that he's not in battle right now, and that he's sitting on this damn space station. So there's that. There's also the fact that here's the other. This is the really irritating part for the Sally Ride. Upon your arrival as a part of the agreement, the Klingons have been given express permission to search your entire vessel.
Thank goodness we dropped off Jenny McPlant face.
Ekumi?
Huh?
Ekumi?
Yep. Klingons have been given complete authorization. Came straight from the Admiral.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Klingons.
They're running the
Surprise,
station.
they're running the station.
We got to the station and
Shockingly, the
it's
Klingons decided they wanted to protect their flank,
weird.
That's fine because
Okay.
as they should.
But it's
I'll
not
tell
like
you this,
the fact that
though.
they haven't
It's not
taken
part
the
of, like,
station
the
war.
war.
A
miracle?
They're
The
still
Admiral-
allowing
Welcome to Station Stalemate.
Station Stalemate.
Station still.
Wow. Sorry, whatever the episode title was. That now.
The Admiral managed to. The Admiral managed to talk some reason, because if they are really trying to hold the stalemate here, the Admiral managed to talk the General surprisingly into not trying to access Federation records, as she threatened to destroy all the computers on board the station if he did so. Again, essentially turning this entire station into a giant hunk of metal and losing a strategic spot. Now, why would this be strategic? Let me explain to you Narendra Station real quick, and then we should be done referencing and catching up on why.
Okay.
Narendra Station, you've discovered, is of vital importance for two major reasons. One, the Shackleton Expanse is becoming a point of high interest to everybody in the Alpha and Beta quadrants. As it turns out, this place is starting to yield some pretty interesting results in minerals and colonization efforts, and where it's located is at a point in the galaxy where, even though it's sort of out of the way of everybody else, it also means it's easy to see folks coming. Strategically, it's a good backyard to do your business in, essentially. It's also incredibly huge and unexplored, which means there's more potential here. The last bit, and most important to the Klingons, is there's one other government that's taken a keen interest in the Shackleton Expanse that they can't afford to turn their back on or let their guard down around, especially because they might try to take advantage of the fact that there's a war with the Federation.
Does it start with an R and end with an Omulan?
It is a Romulans, yes. And Romulan presence has been detected multiple times here in the Expanse. No contact has been had, but the Romulans have been spotted at least twice.
Oh, that's not good.
And Kargan is... He as much as Kargan looks down on the Federation, he hates Romulans.
So
Okay, let the Romulans shoot at us.
the
and then
enemy
they'll
of
know
my
that they're
enemy
coming.
is my friend, basically.
It just, at this point, he's got the station.
Yeah.
Didn't have to fight for it. Federation is playing nice. At least for now, it's a solution. But neither General Kargan nor the Admiral are under the impression that this is sustainable in any way. So, for now, Narendra Station is, for lack of a better way of explaining it, the neutral zone. A neutral zone during wartime. So, everyone is under explicit orders: do not provoke the Klingons. And here's
Switzerland Expanse.
and the last. You've been summoned to the Admiral's office today. And Martinez, just to give you of that shock value of what it was like when you first visited the Admiral's office, when you walked in, swiveling around in her chair was General Kargan welcoming you. That was the shock that Captain Martinez got. And then the Admiral arrived, and they had very curt words for each other, and he left. And she has since explained all of this to you. The crew of the Sally Ride, you guys have been having to adapt with the fact that you are an unwelcome minority on this station. The Klingons do not like you guys here, but they're moving forward. And that is essentially where we pick up with both Commander Rue and Martinez being summoned to the Admiral's quarters. Not her office, her personal quarters.
Okay.
You hear, enter, as y'all are standing just outside. She has 2 armed guards standing post right outside her quarters.
Can I do the noise?
Yeah, do the noise.
Shh.
Oh,
Nice Fully work.
Captain, Commander, please come in.
Shh.
Just looking over reports here.
You wanted to see us, Admiral?
I did. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
How's your week been so far?
All things considered, fantastic.
Good. I have never had the inclination to drink this much alcohol in all my life. All right. Well, looks like confirmation just came through. I asked you both to come here because I have some news that I'm not enjoying giving you. The General has decided to act on one of the stipulations that I put into our treaty as an option. Apparently the appearance of the Sally Ride and the pullout of the USS Dauntless has made him feel a little bit bold. And every Federation starship, all 3 of you, must now have a Klingon liaison on board to monitor operations. I'm in no position to tell him no. So you'll be assigned to Klingon, Captain. She drops the data pad and leans back and she says, would you like a drink?
Yeah. Yes, I would.
Help yourself.
Thank you.
As you pour the glass, you immediately smell the real alcohol wafting up out of it. It is whiskey.
Just like Mom used to make. All right.
Just like Mom used to make.
It's true. what
She
they
just
say
leans
about
back and
us
rubs her
replicators.
temple and says, how are you doing, Rue?
I'm doing well, sir, getting the lay of the station. Do we yet know the liaison who will be assigned to us?
Not yet. If things proceed the way they have been, chances are you're going to find out before I do. He'll probably, or she'll probably, show up wherever you are.
Can you give us any more specifics, Admiral?
Well, only that a liaison was assigned to the Belafonte the Belafron about 3 days ago, and just showed up at a bar. on the promenade. Klingons are doing a good job at keeping to themselves, but that's mostly because Kargan has ordered them to. I think Kargan knows as well as I do that if we start intermixing our staffs, it's going to be a problem. There's only a few select staff we're allowed to associate with, and that's the chief engineer and the medical officer.
Admiral, have we gotten our orders from Greater Starfleet?
The Klingons have still deigned not to give us contact with Starfleet, Captain. So we actually do not have connections with Command. We're on our own out here. They don't know our situation. It's why I wasn't able to give you heads up.
So what's the plan exactly? Are we to just remain around the station with this Klingon babysitter, or are we allowed to go and do our mission?
I think the best thing to do would be to proceed under our normal mission parameters. I think the best thing for the Sally Ride to do is to do what she does, which is go see things that no one's seen before and bring back information, do the research. I think if you appear as anything other than a science vessel that's out here to explore Shackleton, then we might be in a peck of trouble. I will say this too, Captain. We are under obligation to share our findings with the Klingons.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
So not only are we reporting back to Starfleet at some point, possibly, potentially in the future, but we're also sharing all of our findings with the Empire.
Yeah. Although, to be honest with you, I don't think they're listening. I don't think the Empire gives a damn right now.
I hope not.
The Empire, in my impression, believes that once they win the war with the Federation, they can come and take the station at their whim. This is a delaying action until they can finally direct the resources to come and take it. So until then, we just play our part.
I'm afraid that this liaison will just be able to decide any of our scientific findings may or may not be able to help the Klingon Empire, and then who knows what's going to happen after that.
So we should choose them selectively, sir.
Yeah, I wish you could choose them. Oh, you mean the scientific findings? That'll be up to you, at your discretion. You're under orders not to provoke the Klingons, so if you get caught, I will not intercept on your behalf because I have to worry about the well-being of everyone on the station.
I understand.
Admiral, if I may, how far should we take the policy of non-provocation if the liaison tests us?
That's where we're entering into some dangerous territory, Commander. Because if anything happens to the liaison, it's going to be bad. Yeah. Very bad.
And if anything happens to our crew?
The ball is in their court. They know that we have an ace up the sleeve, but right now they have advantage. Think of it like that. And we have to defer, but we don't have to surrender. The station may be theirs, but we're still Starfleet, and we're not going to bend over backwards for them. So we've been allowed to conduct business as normal because it's too much of a headache to be anything other than quiet scientists out here. But the moment we start presenting ourselves as a problem, Kargan is spoiling for a fight. The general wants a reason to draw blood. My impression is the Klingons here want to be at the front lines. There's a lot of dynamics that's keeping everything in check. I just don't want to cause any waves. But it's an unfair position to put you in, because if anything happens to the liaison, it could spell doom for this entire neutral treaty, if you want to call it that. Which means if he goes on an away mission with you and gets his stupid ass killed, it's going to be on us.
Mm-hmm. Our best bet is to be boring.
It's going to be a good episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Really fly
We're
under
just
the radar.
gonna fly
just
clear.
Nice and, but this is to be expected, Admiral. You of all people should know that you will know that part of Starfleet's mission is to engage in diplomacy and to try to maintain sometimes precarious relationships.
That's correct.
So.
And we've got a lot of civilians on board this station still. I got to look after them.
Okay.
So if you'd like, go ahead and acquaint yourself with some of the senior personnel around here. And I should have a mission for you soon. Coming in right now, I can tell you right this, and you'll find this of interest, especially your science officer. We've made first contact with a species out here. We had a successful first contact mission about a week ago.
That's great.
And we might need the Sally Ride to go and pick up our first contact team.
Well, good. I guess as long as it's boring.
Might be boring. I'm still reading up on the species itself. They call themselves the Strethians? She looks at it again. Strethians.
Strethians.
That's what they call themselves.
Okay. All right. If it's all right with you, Admiral, I would love to address my senior staff and potentially my crew before we get our Klingon liaison on board.
The promenade is probably the best place to do it. If you want to do it on board the Sally Ride, that's fine as well.
I think I'd prefer to do it aboard the Sally Ride.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well, Captain, Commander, I wish you all the best. You have my full support. I'll do everything I can to make your jobs easier out here.
We'll try not to make your job harder.
I appreciate that, because right now, I am the only thing that's keeping Kargan in check.
We're thankful for it.
Thank you, Admiral. Keep up
welcome.
the good work. Thanks for the drink.
You're welcome. Anytime. Clear skies. Dismissed. That great moment in Airplane 2. All right, so...
But you know, we're all counting on you.
and you guys step out of the office. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll do a cut scene to you guys all gathering on the Sally Ride. You're not too surprised to hear that the captain has called for a meeting on board the Sally Ride, considering that slowly but surely you've all kind of gotten a basic lay of the land around here. You don't know all the details, but you got an idea that...
There's a lot of Klingons.
There's a whole lot of Klingons here.
Surprised, our man loves meetings.
Yeah.
What's just gonna happen?
Meetings
Yeah.
are the lifeblood of Starfleet.
It's true. This conference table is our life.
Yeah. So we cut to the conference room on board the USS Sally Ride. She is at dock at Ranger Station.
Thank you,
SB
everybody.
364.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. We have some news to report. We are going to be receiving a liaison from the Klingon Empire. It's going to be joining us aboard our ship.
We already have a Klingon.
Yeah, can we just nominate
This is
Kevin?
going to be an official Klingon, not just Kevin, unfortunately. You're the first to know. I'm going to address the rest of our staff as soon as possible. We don't know when we're going to be receiving this liaison, right, Commander?
Correct.
We've been ordered to best put this, to not make waves. The Admiral on the registration station agreed that our best bet is to be boring. We are still allowed to engage in our mission from Starfleet. We're still waiting on official orders from Starfleet because, as you know, we're not allowed to communicate with Starfleet through the station. But we are allowed to explore the Shackleton Expanse with this Klingon liaison to ensure that that we're not doing anything to provoke the Empire, to tip the scales.
This is a funny way of making war. Where I come from, we got pretty obsessed with it, but I don't think we ever did it like this exactly.
My hope, Doctor, is that this isn't quite war yet, and that
Has someone told the Klingons?
Yeah. I got a feeling this past week that General Kargan doesn't quite appreciate what Gorkon did when he went ahead and declared war. On top of that, this general also feels that...
Oh, you mean Galron?
Galron, I mean. Galron.
Pipes up.
Yes, Galron. On top of that, this general doesn't appreciate, at least this is what my impression is, the station that he's received, being all the way out here, and would rather be somewhere else.
That would make sense. Well,
So-
listen, just to do the glass half full thing, it is kind of nice that they didn't just try to slaughter everybody wearing a uniform on board the station.
Could have been worse. He's apparently still trying to honor what came before with the joint union of Starfleet and the Klingon Empire at the station. He's trying to honor some of that. So our job now is to try to do our job and not appear as though we are doing it in a way that will benefit Starfleet. Does that make sense to everybody in this room?
Question.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. No, I might be getting a little ahead of myself, but let's just say the Klingons win. Let's just say. I mean, an end game for the Klingon War is probably getting back all their systems in the Federation, just saying, fine, you can take them. Mm-hmm. What is that going to mean for us stuck out here? I mean, I'm just asking what the end game is. Like, what if the Klingon Empire, like, are we stuck out here?
Remains to be seen, Jiv, but if that were to happen, it would be very bad.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. All right, yeah.
We're a long way from that.
Right, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I just, I don't know, I just like having Starfleet at my back, you know? And I thought that's what, after a month of running through Klingon space, I thought we were running into the arms of friends, and it looks like...
Thought so too.
We were always going to be at the flank of the Klingon Empire.
Yeah, no,
This was never going to be a good strategic position. If nothing else, they're keeping around 3 extra Federation ships in case the Romulans try to make moves on the Klingons' eastern flank.
Oh.
That's what we're here for. We're a meat shield.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Any other concerns?
You don't attack the meat shield.
I mean, we could...
Don't?
No, you let them shield.
Someone else attacks. That's what the shield is for, though. The shield part of that, it gets... am I not...
No,
am I
with ya.
confused?
We are not in a good place. We saw what this was on the map before we left. And it got worse.
It looks nice and empty.
The good news is that it is a very large space, and we can fly really, really fast.
Yeah.
That we can.
That is actually some good news. Yeah, Doctor?
Is Kaven in danger of being conscripted? I don't have Tristan here to ask on cultural details.
We could ask Kaven.
Yeah,
He's not of the warrior caste.
Correct. I don't believe
That
that
helps
he's
him.
in any sort of a danger.
Is
It's
he
true.
in trouble for traveling with us? Can we hide him? Is that an option?
We're not
I think it would be best not to hide him.
going to try to hide things
Yes.
from the liaison, and
Correct.
with respect to the liaison, very quickly, sir, it's possible we may see attempts at provocation from the liaison on our ship.
Like fighting?
Klingons always like to try to pick a fight.
I'm out.
Test us, establish, and yes,
They do. I'm
do
just saying.
exactly
Oh,
what Lark is recommending. You don't engage, you come to me, I engage.
Not only that, but, well, let's just go through this. The best case scenario is that we have this liaison on board, and this entire skirmish blows over quickly. And then we can deliver this liaison back to his home, and we can keep doing what we're doing. But until that happens, everything that Commander Rude just stated is correct. We will not engage. Not only that, but this ship is very, very, very good at following the rules.
Sorry.
Why is that getting a chuckle? I don't
No,
understand.
that was totally out of character. I didn't have that.
Oh, dang. Because that's going to
Let me repeat
That was
myself.
completely...
That
okay,
could
let's go
technically
back
be
in
both
time.
in and out of character.
Let me repeat myself. And I'm being deadly serious here.
Me too.
Okay, I need everybody to pay very close attention. Perk up with your ears. Listen, this ship is, as far as Starfleet is concerned, very good at following the rules. Does everybody understand what I'm saying
I
here?
fully understand
Yes,
every
Captain.
damn word coming out of your
Yes,
mouth,
Captain.
Captain.
Yep.
Yes,
Now,
Captain.
this is going to be a challenge, but not too difficult, because everybody on this crew, including everybody in this room, is going to be the most accommodating, the most respectful, the most friendly, the most good at their job, but we are going to genuinely ensure that this liaison is fine and is taken care of. We will. And our crew, our entire crew, will understand what's at stake, and we will happily and genuinely care about the well-being of this liaison to ensure that he or she is never in any sort of danger. He or she is never in any sort of danger in any case of the word. But on top of that, and this is where, Talon, your expertise is going to very much come in handy here. But we need to ensure that any of our scientific findings while on our mission can in no way be interpreted as being beneficial to Starfleet or as being any sort of a threat to the Klingon Empire or being beneficial to the Empire. Does that make sense? We need to do our jobs very plainly, dully, boringly. We're just skirting by at this point.
Hector, make a daring plus command roll, please.
You got it.
Difficulty is 1.
Daring plus command. Okay.
Oh yeah, we don't have any momentum, do we?
Nope.
Oh great.
You can add threat to the
Let's
pool.
try to get
the magnificent pool.
This is a magnificent pool.
Now let's see what I get. Here we go. Daring and command, you said.
Difficulty 1, yeah.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, go ahead and add that momentum.
Uhura. I'm using my own custom momentum chips here. This is a little Uhura token right here. There we go. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, there's more where that came from.
Those poker chips?
Kind of.
No, they're momentum. Thank
Sorry.
you. All right.
Sorry.
What do we got?
So essentially, that was a roll that, after a few minutes of talking and really lining out everything that Martinez is saying, mostly it was actually. You know what? I'm gonna retcon that. I'm gonna say it was difficulty 0. So give yourself 2 momentum.
Yay.
So
Next up, Captain Kirk. All right.
so
Good priorities.
Sorry, moment.
so essentially, what this is it's Martinez using his command presence to build a momentum pool so that y'all will have some bonuses if you interact with Klingons.
Beautiful.
Essentially, giving down the order, laying it out, letting everybody get on the same page so they know what the situation is. So now you have some momentum to spend if shit hits the fan.
No idea what you're talking about. I'm sure that'll be totally irrelevant in the future.
Martinez, as you're wrapping this up, you hear in communication, Captain Martinez, this is transporter room 2.
Martinez here. Go ahead.
Captain, we have someone who just beamed on board the ship and said that they need to speak to you immediately.
Are they a Klingon?
No, Captain. Looks like they're a Federation officer.
Okay. I'll be right there.
I can send them up to see you if you like, sir.
Fantastic. Send them to the bridge.
Very good.
All right.
Transporter room 2 out.
Thank you. So the last thing I'm going to say to everybody in this room is it's your responsibility to deliver that message to your respective departments. Is everybody clear on what we're doing here? Does anybody have any concerns before I dismiss this meeting?
It might be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
No, you go. You can go first.
I mean, that I was just, lots of concerns, but with you,
Infinite
Captain.
concerns and infinite combinations.
Exactly. But
Oh,
we trust you.
go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, now,
This
please.
just gets really awkward. It might be a good idea to alert Kevin and Tristan, and maybe they could be good at distracting our liaison
Possibly.
when we're.
Haven't had a chance to fill
Out
them in on
and
the
about?
details. Ensign, I need you to go ahead and do that for me.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything in the computer we need to?
No, everything's
encrypt?
already been wiped
Further?
clean. I mean,
Okay.
because we've already had Klingons aboard the ship when we arrived at the station over the past
Okay,
week.
that already happened.
That already
Okay.
happened, so
I
that's
have-
so we're
If
good.
you'd like me to do
Communication
an
beep
additional
interrupts
computer
your
security
conversation.
What's that?
A communication beep interrupts your conversation on the wall. And you hear, Bridge, Captain Martinez.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but we have a communication coming in from the Starbase.
Not at all. I'll take it on the bridge. All right, this meeting is dismissed. Thanks, everybody.
Yes,
Do
Captain.
not
Yes,
fight
Captain.
with Klingons.
Do not.
Yep.
Just
Do
send
not
it to me.
provoke Klingons.
Send all fighting Klingons to me.
I will make my way to the bridge, and everybody can do whatever they're doing.
Pretty
but
much
I'm gonna
duty.
head to the bridge
Go
and
talk
take the
to
communique
everyone
there.
Now.
All right.
Okay. As you step out onto the bridge, stepping onto the bridge, you would see on the view screen is a woman at her science station inside what looks like the Narendra station, surrounded by computers and 24th century microscopes and all sorts of scientific, all sorts of scientific equipment. I was like, wait, am I in the right century?
Yeah.
All sorts of scientific equipment. She looks up at you as you step on into the viewport of the view area, the view screen, assuming right in front of the center chair.
Yeah.
She looks up to you. Looks like a middle-aged woman, dark hair, completely black eyes. Looks civilian by the way she's dressed, and she looks up and says, "Captain, you're Captain Martinez?
Correct. Yes.
Great, thank you. My name's Dr. Helena. I got her name wrong. Talia Farrow. Dr. Talia Farrow. I'm the head scientist here on the station.
How can I help you, Doctor?
I'm sending someone to you that's going to help you with your mission. I need you to use all of her knowledge and assets at your disposal. She's a stellar cartographer, and she's going to help you find what you need to find, okay?
Oh.
This is a Starfleet officer you're sending?
Yeah, she's a lieutenant. She's a little too sweet in my opinion, but she'll get the job done. She'll tell you how to get there in one piece.
Thank you, Doctor.
Could you please tell my team that I want a full debriefing when they get back?
Will do.
Thank you. Cuts off. And as if on cue, the doors to the bridge open, and stepping in, stepping in, stepping onto the bridge is a member of our Ox crew, a one Aki, who today will be playing.
I know!
That hug was sorry. Okay.
Hi.
So, stepping down out of the turbo lift, you see a young lieutenant looking quite wide-eyed and eager to be here as she steps off the turbo lift.
As soon as he said stellar cartography, I knew. I was like,
Well, I'm doing the math of the couch over here.
I know. I was like, is someone behind me would?
Yes, but not our guest.
Yes. Well, yeah. Oh,
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So, Lieutenant Baker, you step onto the bridge of the USS Sally Ride. You see before you the bridge is relatively empty at the moment, except for a science officer that's taking her station on the opposite end of the bridge, and the captain standing before center chair, who's just turned to look at you. Rue, where are you at? Are you
We
on the
just
bridge?
left the conference room, which is on
Are you assuming position
deck
on the bridge?
1, so
Oh, yeah.
I just haven't left the bridge yet. I
Oh,
don't
okay.
have any reason to.
All right.
thank you.
Captain?
Yes.
Oh, that's you.
me.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I am Lieutenant Baker at your service. Really happy to be here, sir.
Captain Martinez. Good to meet you. Thank you
Good to
for
meet
coming
you
aboard.
too. I was sent here by my commanding officer. I think you probably just spoke with her.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Yes,
Dr. Farrow.
Yes, Tilia Farrow, sir.
Talia,
Yes. But yeah, she's here. Well, she sent me here to make sure that you guys, don't crash into the fun stuff that's in the Expanse that I've been really enjoying looking at. It's been a lot of fun.
It's great.
Just how young is Dot?
Dot's about my age, but she's
her nickname.
bushy-tailed and bright-eyed and
Love it.
yeah.
Wanted to figure out why you were in my class.
Again, communications coming in from Narendra Base, or Narendra Starbase. I need to know where everyone is real quick before we continue the scene.
On the bridge.
Yeah,
the bridge.
I'm
We
going
all
to
just
duty.
never left.
Yeah.
Who's on the bridge?
Did you say, I think you said that I'm on the bridge.
The
right?
conference room empties out into the bridge, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
I just
We
need
all
to-
just walked out of it, I think saw that message, and are standing here.
Okay, so yeah.
I'm
Because
just
some of
going
you
to take
announced
the
that
helm.
you were immediately heading down, so I just wanted to know: did you wait, or did you just go, or did you? I'm giving you the option of being
Right.
here for this scene.
Well, I guess I would just wouldn't know what to do because obviously there's no helm needed. We're not flying anywhere.
No,
We're docked.
She's docked.
So, but I'm
You know
nosy.
what? I would have
so-
intercepted everybody and went, this is actually perfect timing.
great.
Lieutenant Baker, this is the senior staff of the USS Sally Ride.
Hi.
And I believe
hello.
you will be working with Lieutenant Commander Talon in the
Looking
science
forward
department.
to it.
Wait, is this the liaison?
No,
Yeah.
this is Lieutenant Baker. She's been assigned
That
from
would have been
Starfleet
really good.
to stellar cartographer.
No, I'm superhuman.
No, I knew that, but I figured
Really?
maybe they,
Yeah.
sent someone cool.
Captain, communications coming in from Starbase.
Oh, the eyes.
Communications coming in from the Admiral.
Yes.
No.
I'll
I meant,
take that
they
in
sent someone
my.
cool, like her.
I'll take that in
Instead of
my
a Klingon
Ready room?
ready room. Thank you. Not the conference room, the
It's
ready room.
it's the
Words
first
are
week
hard.
back. It's 2018. We're all.
I'll get it.
We'll get there.
My
All right, so you, leaving your crew out there to sort of happily and friendly like grill the new lieutenant.
Yes.
You walk into the ready room, and you see the transmission waiting for you on your desk to be a channel that's ready to open up.
Martinez here.
You see the admiral's face come up, and she says, "Captain, well, things are moving fast right now.
Apparently.
I have a liaison for you. He's coming your way right now, along with your orders."
Great.
The orders I can give you myself, though. That first contact that I spoke to you about not an hour ago, they've sent out a distress.
Oh.
And so I'm going to need you to immediately to respond to the distress signal that they've sent out.
Okay. What's the situation?
I'm not sure, unfortunately, and I'm sure Lieutenant Baker is going to fill you in on this. But one of the things that we've discovered about the Shackleton Expanse is that it's filled with electromagnetic and gravitational anomalies, and it's made flying starships out here quite tricky.
All right.
Sometimes we have to fly at bursts through warp space, by warp, in order to chart a not so straight course to where we're going. It's played havoc with not only our engines, but more importantly, it appears to have a direct effect on our shield emitters as well as sensors. So, and here's what we've learned as well, Captain. If one of these eddies takes out one of your shield sensors, there's no field repair. You're going to have to come back to station to get it fixed.
Understood.
So be very careful. She's going to help get you around, though, and I have faith that Lieutenant Baker will do the job. Sally Ride, is therefore ordered to the Streethian homeworld, which is classified system J991. Here's what I can tell you about the Streethians.
There's science.
I think there are no extra pencils at this table or dice.
There are so many. You want some?
So
I'm good. I'm stacked over here.
Gina's like the Wolverine of mechanical pencils.
Science.
I know, but guest.
Yeah.
It's
Guest pencil.
Okay.
In guest's division colors. We take care of our guests.
So, first contact species, the Streethians. They're an aquatic-based species.
Cool.
Ooh.
They have cities on land, and they have a city on their moon.
Cool.
The Otono, which is the name of the city on the moon. It's named after their goddess, apparently.
Is it the capital city of the planet?
Otono.
Like otoño?
Otono.
Autumn?
Species is peaceful and curious. Only achieved warp flight about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Species resembles Earth dolphins and bipedal mammalians.
Ooh.
Skin is
Everything I ever wanted.
Skin is variations of soft grays and whites with dark grays and is rubbery to the touch. Average height is 5 feet tall. Facial structure is alien with 2 black eyes and 2 sensory nodes above the ear holes that resemble off-white membrane.
I'm so excited.
Fan art.
Facial
Yeah, please.
structure is
I'm trying to-
slightly elongated. Heads with slightly protruding mouths. Species changes sex and has no gender or gender roles. Essentially a non-binary species in general. The leader is named Yanut.
I thought I couldn't love this more. And then I did.
Yanut.
Yeah, Yanut's a pretty great name.
And
I agree.
initial
Got it there.
initial impressions of leader Yanut is cautious, slightly frightened, and awestruck by the appearance of the Federation, but very, very excited by the possibilities. Peaceful civilization that doesn't have too much landmass. Their homeworld is about twice the size of Earth, and it's mostly ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm
Yeah.
excited to this planet, y'all.
We can't wait to get out
Go for
of
a swim.
answer some distress. But about that Klingon liaison.
yes, the Klingon liaison. I can only tell you what his name is. His name is Commander Tolosh. He's a Commander. All I have here is Commander Tolosh, son of I can never pronounce these names. Son of Guvutok. G''VUTOQ. Huh.
What?
I'm gonna need that again, Admiral. G apostrophe.
VUTOQ.
Gavutok.
I think is.
Lowercase
son
or
of
capital
Guv-
Q, sir?
What's that?
They geminate.
It's capital Q.
Thank you, sir.
Is that the one?
It's a little farther back. One is closest to the K. They don't
Which
really-
one is it? Kronos.
Kronos is
Capital Q is
capital
Kronos.
Q, but also it's the beginning of a word.
Okay.
But I believe it's
Kronos.
still the capital.
Kronos, yes.
Thank you.
And he is on the way. He will be transporting over any minute now. Captain, I if your crew is ready and if you're ready to call them back, if the Sally Ride could be underway in an hour, it would look really good.
We're ready and we will be ready.
Okay, great, Captain. Keep me posted.
We'll do.
We will have open channels, by the way. You won't have to go through what you went through
Good.
on the safety corridor. But just so you know, the Shackleton Expanse, the gravimetric disturbances that we've been charting out here, sometimes makes things a little tricky. Your science officer is going to have a lot cut out for her.
Well, I've got a very smart one, so I'm sure that my science officer and my crew will probably find some workarounds on all of that.
I'm happy to hear that. Oh, and Captain, upon your return, with your permission, I would like to outfit the Sally Ride with a brand new sensor suite to help her navigate these eddies.
Sounds good?
Great. And then we will see you when you get back.
Yes.
Keep me posted.
Will do. Thank you,
Ranger
Admiral.
out.
So my shields are fracked, but our sensors are getting better.
I'm ready to fly, Captain, when you are.
You won't need new tires if you don't go off-road.
I need to
Don't have no fun if you
meet
don't
this Klingon liaison.
He beams on board. We'll just go ahead.
transporter?
Do you want to just go? We'll just go ahead and
Can we
cut
just
that
assume we
scene.
did some, like, Lieutenant Baker, Dr. Phil Shishiras.
Yeah. We'll do some.
Curb soda, here you go.
Yeah.
New scene, lose momentum.
Just to sort of just to clarify, the rest of the crew of the USS Sally Ride is on the station.
Not all of them. A lot
but they
of them
need to be recalled.
A lot of them were granted shore leave, so they were kind of allowed
Yes.
off to
I'll take care of
say because of all the time y'all spent traveling through space. Shifts are allowed to go on board the station for some downtime,
Right.
Because there is hollow suites on board the station, as well as just general recreational areas and diplomatic suites that are not being used. So some of the station has gotten some nice, like the crew of the Sally Ride, the Ox crew has been allowed to decompress.
That's good to
So
get some
Ox
fresh
crew,
air. Yeah.
you guys have had an entire week on board Narendra Station to learn the circumstances and get up to shenanigans. So I'll let you all decide what happens.
Oh yeah, all shenanigans off of my ship.
Let it all
Did
out.
we lose momentum because of it's start of a new scene?
No,
or-
no.
Okay.
Same scene, same scene.
You can stay.
You'll lose momentum when you guys leave Narendra Station, though.
Okay.
Got it.
Great.
Great.
All right,
So
let's
before
meet,
that happens,
Torosh.
I guess I'm going to let Commander Rue know, like, we need to recall everybody. We need to have every department head address their department, including Lieutenant Baker, obviously. She'll be within those groups. And yeah, the fact that every member of the crew has also spent a week on the station, they're all going to be kind of aware of what's going on, so this debrief shouldn't be that crazy that we're having this Klingon liaison. Meanwhile, I'm going to go directly to greet the liaison and bring him to his quarters and make sure that everything's good and copacetic while all of the other crew is secretly having these meetings going, this is what's happening. Okay, everybody be cool, be cool, be cool, be cool.
Okay.
Right.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Baker,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to put you jointly under our con and our science officer, since
course.
we're going to need you to show sensors where to go and tell con where to fly.
It's a little bit of a circus out there, but it's gonna be super fun.
Challenge accepted.
You're gonna like Sage. She's a hell of a pilot.
Oh,
There is a unusual. Now you know about the Intrepid bridge layout. This one's a little different. This one looks like it's been modified. It looks like there are no stairs on the bridge. First of all, you also notice that there is an extra science station that's been positioned up towards, just on the other side of Talon's science station, that is currently unmanned, as they say.
permission to claim this spot, maybe?
Permission granted.
Thank you. Oh, I've read
So keep your share form.
and done so much research about this ship. You guys have some of the best sensors in the world. I've been stuck on station with like, oh, this is wonderful. Hello.
Also, the ship that has been at the epicenter of every major event of the anomaly that's been taking place over the past half year. More than half year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So-
you would know that. Huh?
So
You've been
there's a lot of
sitting
sensor. There's a lot of sensor data about the pull that you've been
love our
hearing
sensors.
about.
Dot is excited.
Yeah,
were
because the
recently
pull has literally been
defunct.
changing the cartography on all of the maps of the Federation and when it appears. So, you go and assume your position down on the
Oh,
front of the bridge, sliding into that chair. You just see the LCAR system light up in front of you. Immediately, you see the sensor suite. You're actually able to monitor what Talon is doing as she is essentially activating the sensor suite and getting the Sally Ride prepared for departure.
Okay.
The Intrepid class has secondary deflectors. It also has the sensor suite. Just looking at this thing, this ship, just looking at it, has the most advanced sensor suite in Starfleet currently, and is able to scan into deep space the way most space stations can scan into deep space. Essentially, this baby can look farther than most probes can look when you launch them. So just laying down, you're basically being handed the most beautiful eyeglass for spotting the far away that you've ever sat in front of. So it's just kind of like, think of it like this. You've been playing the teacher's piano in elementary school all your life, and someone just sat you down in front of a grand piano that was played by some of the most finest musicians in the world, and here it is. It's at your fingertips.
Yeah, well targeted.
Yeah.
Dot's excited.
Okay.
Has someone told me about the emergency? Because if so, I'm down in sickbay looking up all the research on the dolphin people and figuring out what specialized equipment I might want to bring.
There is, because when you guys dock, you guys link, essentially this is sharing.
We were there on the bridge when that happened.
Oh, I thought you took the message alone. My bad.
It's
So
okay.
he told me, but while he's meeting Tolosh, I'm in charge of communicating all of that to everybody and getting the department meeting set up. So yes, you have.
I jumped in line, but that's what happens later.
That's no. So essentially,
Have
I
it
would
right
say,
now.
what happens is Throlo, you go down to sickbay and access medical computers. What you were able to discover is part of the docking procedure, of course, is a networking of the computers from the Ranger Station as well as Sally Ride. So logs can be transferred, information can be shared, updated, star dates can be arranged, all this other stuff. You are able to actually access what very little information they have on this race.
Are they amphibious?
They can survive in water, but
Aquatic base, yeah.
but much like mammals on Earth or mammals that exist under the water, they breathe air. But their species is far enough advanced that none of them actually live in the water. They do have underwater cities, obviously, because that's where most of their civilization grew up. They do have cities above land, and they can exist in either or comfortably.
Cool.
Here's what you're able to pull off the medical files, Thorlo. If you want to go ahead and make a roll for me,
Oh,
I
sure.
would say just to see.
Well, guys, I've hijacked the game.
Cautious.
I would say.
Do it. Learn all the things about all the dolphins. Do it. Do it.
How do you spell Streethians? Do I have to pay momentum to find that out?
Obtain information.
Streethians is literally ST. What's up?
Yeah, I do have some preliminary knowledge of this species.
You've been fed information from the first contact ever since. Well, here's something that they probably haven't been told yet.
Yeah.
And as I told you, you were on the team that made first contact.
Right.
You were one of the first people to actually make the contact.
So cool.
A dolphin?
A dolphin person?
Unfortunately, you're working on stellar cartography, and we can't have USS Sally.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
I wrote that on.
This is where they went.
Did you really?
Oh. Okay,
All right,
sorry.
Makes sense.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
All the fandoms.
So
Now-
if in the event that any questions come up,
Excellent.
cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll
So
assume you let Bridge Crew know that.
I'm gonna say, Amy. So yeah, go ahead and make a reason and computer check.
Reason
Or a reason. A reason. No, we'll do reason medicine.
Oh.
I'm okay with reason medicine, and you can
Good.
be assisted by the Sally Ride on this.
Okay.
Difficulty is 0.
Ooh. And you did take a momentum, right?
I did.
Good.
Oh, we did too.
Computer science for Sally? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's still 16 for that.
Yeah.
Oh.
2 successes.
Okay. Did you roll any complications?
Oh, wait, hold on. 3 successes.
3 successes. No complications.
No
We got
complications.
to Sulu and we got to Scotty. That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing. I need them.
So aside from the basic information, what did you want to know about the species?
I wanted to just be able, my particular, Amy wants to know everything, and Shashira ultimately wants to know everything, but what she's interested in right now is anything we've yet learned that will help me to bring the right kind of gear and be like, what's the basic nature of their biology so I know what needs to be inside and outside if they're all half dead when we get there.
There's hardly any information on their biology aside from physical description and the fact that they breathe air. You do see a picture of one, though. They do not look like earth dolphins. They resemble it in tone, and they definitely resemble it in the texture and the gloss on their skin, for example, almost like they had been underwater. They do have the grays and the dark grays, but they're very, for lack of a better way of saying it, just to give us all a description, they're very alien looking. They have very plain features. There's no nose. It looks like the elongation. It looks like it would have been. Think of it like a slightly larger version of a human head, but the front part has been slightly elongated, and they have very pronounced. They're not lips, but it looks like coverings are almost that goes over the mouth area, and completely black eyes.
All right, so if there's any way for me to rig up what I expect to be I can't bring full-on hydration chambers with me, but if I can figure out some kind of gel that would work, I'm just trying to think through the problems of newly spacefaring aquatic beings and make wild guesses and prep for them.
What I would say is, I think the only thing you can do, honestly, at this point is to pool that momentum. Because you aren't going to really know until you yourself, and in fact, you're going to be one of the first doctors ever to scan this species. So really what you need to do is you need to get down there with a tricorder. And then you'll have a better idea. A basic medical kit is probably your best bet at this point. But everything from preliminary ratings and reports, by the way, you see Dorothy's name on the report for the first contact files. And her observations, you also see that Dorothy, the lieutenant, has a specialty in, cultural
studies.
Cultural studies, alien cultural studies specifically, and is why she was chosen for the mission of first contact.
Yes. You guys can have some good nerding.
Yes.
So not only is she good at helping navigate, but she's also good at making contact with new species.
What do you know about
Interestingly
the
enough, you also discover that she has a background in veterinary science.
Hello.
So there's a basic knowledge of medicine somewhere in her background.
So clearly the
Some
science
comically
team knows how to distribute their people well on away missions. Yay!
a comically short time after I head down to sickbay to do all my research, I will be reappearing on the bridge with my medical kit and going, okay, wait a minute, where's Lieutenant Baker?
Yes. How can I help you, Doctor?
You know more than my files. Why did I even leave?
Well, unfortunately, it seemed everybody was in a bit in a hurry, and I didn't necessarily get the chance to do a proper debriefing, but any help you need at all, I'm at your disposal.
Yes, so sorry. Fantastic.
Lassie LeClaire is wishing us a happy game.
Ask her what her name is.
sorry.
That's not her name.
Oh my God!
What's her name?
Everyone just heard that.
Who?
Ah.
Here.
Thank you.
I'm confused.
I don't know who that is.
Sorry.
Nope,
What?
nothing.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Nope.
What's the text? I don't know.
What's up?
Well,
Just kidding. Hi.
Whatever that was, we appreciate it.
Whoever you are.
Whoever you are.
All right, real quick before. So we're starting to get underway here. So let's just do this. We're going to do 2 more scenes before we depart. The first scene is going to be welcoming our liaisons. We're going to cut to while you're associating with Throlo and you're connecting and asking.
Insert 7,000 questions.
Yeah. Yeah. The Andorian doctor has a ton of questions for you.
Am I
And-
there too on the bridge still?
Yeah, you're right there at the science station. You're about 10 feet away.
I want to soak up the science.
Having it out.
Yeah. Great.
So much
Y'all are in a
science
science sauna, just like you put your glasses on and just bask in it.
The mood on this
It's a
bridge
very
has
fine science
decidedly changed from the last few months.
All the nerds are here. What? Not you engineering jocks.
Excuse me.
Oh my gosh, now we need to have like a holodeck episode
so
where it's
adorable
engineering jocks
that I
versus
have
the
Never
science
been
nerds.
referred to as a jock in my life. Whoa.
I think in this realm, the engineerings are.
All right.
Engineers
Move along.
I was on the side watching. Like,
All right, so Martinez, you step into the transporter room just as one of the ensigns sees you and nods and says, "Captain, the liaison's on standby."
I'm sorry, say that again?
The liaison's on standby,
Oh.
ready to transport aboard at your command.
Okay, go ahead, Ensign. Thank you.
Slides the hands up and you see that blue curtain parts, the beaming noise, and at first you're not sure it's a Klingon. You didn't know that, you were not aware that Klingons got this large.
oh no.
I like this guy.
When the when the
do.
transporter is done, you find yourself standing in front of a Klingon with a huge, thick mane of black hair cascading down his back. He is not wearing the traditional armor that you see a lot of Klingons warriors wearing. He is brazenly wearing what looks like a meshed armored vest going over the top with no sleeves.
Stupid sexy Klingon.
His,
Yeah, I can hear him shipping it from
a disruptor pistol is not on his waist, but instead on his thigh, whereas an easily, which is where you would know from old Earth history, that's where you put a gun when you want to quick draw. He's also got 2 Klingon daggers and cross across one of his belts, and a duffel bag made of various, looks like patchwork of leathers in his left hand. And as he beams aboard, he has a mighty crest too. This guy looks.
Let me just interrupt you real quick, Eric.
Yeah.
You tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm in the wrong
Sure.
zone here. But I'm picturing, as the actor playing him, noted Star Trek Enterprise cameo actor Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And I'm picturing
That's not bad. He's not as bulky as Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Maui-esque, if you will, if you've seen Moana, a very Maui-esque. He's about to break out into song "You're Welcome." He's just this massive dude.
Massive dude. Massive Klingon. Hell of a Klingon. I will say this, though, is he beams on board, and you see him look around. He has that typical Klingon beard, the sort of the mustache going off the top, and the sort of the Fu Manchu thing going.
Is it braided?
Yeah. No, not braided. It's loose. But as he looks around, he does not immediately give off. As he beams on board and he sees you and kind of glances around the room, despite his imposing physical appearance, you do not detect an air of menace from him at all. In fact, as he beams on board, he just kind of glances left and right and says, "You are the captain?"
Yes. Commander Talash, son of Kutak.
He starts laughing, and as he steps down, he tosses it on board, and he slaps his hands to his chest and says, "A valiant attempt, Captain."
Help me with the pronunciation. I'm Rafael Martinez. It is an honor, sir, to have you on board the USS Sally Ride. Thank you for coming aboard.
He literally looks you up and down and says, "You are handling this very well, Captain."
Well, what choice do I have, right, Commander?
I know how you feel.
Well, before we undergo a tour of the ship, I wanted to answer any questions that you may have, any orders or anything that I can help before we leave the transporter room here, sir.
I would request a drink.
Ah, a man after my own heart. What kind of drink?
Whatever you have. A drink with you, Captain. I want to know who it is I'm going to be serving under, so to speak.
It's like you read my mind, Commander. Can I invite you to my quarters and we can have some of my personal stash of Klingon blood wine?
I accept.
I have been told by many Klingons that it is very, very good. So, but we'll have to see what you make of it. Yes, Commander.
He glances, and you see the transporter operator, as he glances over, just kind of looks back down to their
Commander,
station.
he didn't hear anything of what I just said.
No,
Don't worry about it.
Says, "I accept."
Good. Very good.
Picks up the duffel bag and says, "Lead the way."
All right, this way, Commander. Thank you.
As you two are walking down the hallway, he's looking around. He says, "I have never heard of an Intrepid class starship."
Yes, this is the hallway. That's the carpet. That's the side of the wall.
You've taken care of the essentials, I see.
Yes. The only thing you need to fly through space.
It's true. A great weakness of the Klingon Empire is we don't have enough carpet on our battle cruisers.
Do I hint some sarcasm, Commander?
He smiles. And again, it's a Klingon smile, so it's this big, sharp tooth, sort of like, could be I'm going to kill you, could be joy.
I don't disagree, Commander. You may appreciate when we get to it later, we requested some modifications to our bridge because a lot of Starfleet standards are frankly not up to par.
Yes, I'm looking forward to having a cushion to sleep on.
Very good, very good. Well, we'll find you the hardest place we can find so that you can sleep comfortably, Commander.
Trying to...
That would be the side of my crutch.
Yeah. Trying to... What is the Earth expression?
Kiss ass?
Ah! Yes, that's better.
Yes, it is. What's the Klingon expression?
There is no translation.
I expected no less.
I suppose the best description would be sticking your nose inside of a targ, but...
We have one of those.
We have a similar expression. Yes, it's good. Anyway, here are my personal quarters.
You guys walk into your personal quarters.
Fetch my blood wine.
So...
Do you dim the lights?
Computer.
They automatically dim. No, my room senses
you go full Austin Powers.
Full seduction. The beds are spinning.
You just hear the song. Learn the truth, love was meant for
Oh my God.
So, as you enter the quarters, you get to know Talash a little bit. What you discover is that Talash, what you discover about Talash in this meeting is essentially, just so we can cut ahead, What you are going to take away from this, I'll give you this without a roll, is that Tolash doesn't seem to have a problem with the Federation.
Great.
He personally doesn't seem to have any sort of problem. But he is a Klingon, so if he's ordered to kill one of you, he'll do it.
I understand.
But
I'll try to convey.
Do it honorably.
I'm going to try to convey in the same meeting.
Okay.
If it isn't already evidently clear that Rafael Martinez and this ship specifically doesn't have a problem with the Klingon Empire. That's what I'll try to convey in that meeting as well.
Okay, let's go ahead and just real quick make a roll. I'm going to say make an insight command roll.
Yes.
Difficulty is 1.
All right, here we go. That would be. You said insight command?
Insight command.
That would be 1, 2, 3.
3 successes?
Right, because that's under.
Yeah, I mean, if it's
Right.
a focus for you.
Yeah, what's the focus?
What kind of
This would obviously be diplomacy. Or what am I going for here?
going on?
You're
Because
trying to
this could be-
gauge. This is a roll to see what you can learn about him as you have a conversation with him over a drink.
So,
there's some.
but I've also got psychiatry now as my new focus. No?
Interrogation.
Can I psychoanalyze him?
Not from this initial meeting, no.
Okay.
Interrogation?
Interrogation.
Trying to
Build a
find
profile.
out information.
Diplomacy.
You're not interrogating.
Persuasion. Philosophy.
Persuasion?
Composure.
Look, you need it.
I will allow diplomacy to work.
Okay.
So 3 successes.
You're gauging a member of another species and trying to gain his disposition so you know how to handle him. That is definitely
Yes, it
diplomacy.
is.
maxed
And we are
out.
at full-on Spock level
So
of momentum.
here's what you learn. So what you learn about Tlosh is that he absolutely does not want to be here. He does not want this assignment. He had no intention of accepting this assignment. He clearly was ordered for the assignment. Tolash wants to kill Cardassians badly. Apparently he won't let on to what it is, but the impression you get is that he has a history with Cardassians, and he thinks the Dominion is the perfect foe to test oneself against and die fighting. So after a few drinks of blood wine, which he does compliment you on, in fact, being authentic, what you learn from Tolash is that he hates what Gowron is doing. And so far as he's concerned, the Sally Ride can do whatever the hell she wants.
Cool.
Great.
He's here. He basically says, do whatever you want. The impression you get from him is do whatever the hell you want, do whatever it is you do. And in the meantime, just don't step too far, and we should get along fine.
Can I ask any questions of this meeting?
Sure. What would you want to know? It's going to cost you momentum.
I would want to ask.
We have
sorry,
one.
Spock.
We have leftover.
Oh, we have a
because
leftover one?
36 over, yeah,
that's
so we had one.
One in the air. I would ask Commander Tolash,
Right?
how long are you on this assignment?
Oh, maybe not.
On your ship, you mean? Yes. Until I'm told I can go back to the station.
Have you gotten any indication of how long that might be?
No.
All right,
Until we
Commander.
defeat you, perhaps?
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Who should hope that?
What's that?
Who needs to hope that?
The side that doesn't want to lose.
So, let you hope that it doesn't come to that.
Yes. But Commander, while you're here then, I'll promise you that we're going to try to make it as painless as possible, I imagine, or as...
Do you have a hollow deck?
Yes, we do.
I shall spend time in the hollow
We've
deck.
got some pretty cool programs, too. We got some pretty good stuff, too.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the blood wine. And he downs it and sets it down and stands up and says, I shall show myself to my quarters.
Very well. Would you like a guide to your quarters, or no? Got it?
No.
Okay, great. Well, fantastic. Everybody on the ship is aware of your presence and what your assignment is. If you've got any questions or anything, you can contact me directly, either in my quarters or on the bridge.
Doesn't say anything.
Great.
Turns on heel, walks out the door.
I lied. We do have to use one momentum.
We have to stop there because it is time for a break. It's 5:30. 5:30 on your break. So
And we meet some
we're gonna
dolphins.
we're gonna get pretty tight on time here. So we're gonna be back in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And then we will engage on this mission and
Engage.
find out what's going on. Engage. Now I gotta go pay CBS royalties again.
Okay, great.
All right, so stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes. Welcome back, everybody, to Shield of Tomorrow, and we're going to go ahead and jump back in. Before we do, though, a couple of questions in chat. I want to let everybody know the characters leveled up over the break. We did have a session where we advanced everybody's character.
Yeah. I learned magic missile, so it's going to be really helpful.
I'm really excited about that, too, because I want to see how a D4...
Levitation.
I want to see how a D4 works in the system. No, but we leveled, all the characters did level over the break, and we did level Sally, because one or two of us, I think, was it you? You donated one of your milestones to Sally Ride. So what did you increase? Do you remember what that was? Was it sensors?
That's actually still pending.
Oh, is it still pending?
Because we needed to decide it as a crew, and because we were focusing on our characters.
Well, then before we leave Space Dock, why don't we decide what that was going to be?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
That would be good to know.
Because that's going to be a thing.
I think it might bear discussion because
This is a trade kind of level, right?
Yeah, this is a swapsies.
Yeah.
So then
Sally didn't get an arc milestone.
So then why don't we do this?
Although she should.
We will, then the upgrades that are pending when you guys come back to Narendra Station, we will say that will be when you level up.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
It's going to happen with the sensor refit.
I think I gave up my...
We're going to have a refit, and that's going to be when it happens.
Discipline. Or no, it could be anything. I just gave it up.
We have 2 spotlight milestones to use.
I gave up
I have
one.
those
Yeah,
recorded.
Yeah.
One from you, one from Bob.
Ja. So that did happen. Also, real quick before we get back into the game, I just want to wish a very, very happy birthday to our favorite Klingon. One, Jason Charles Miller.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jason.
Happy birthday,
so mad at you right now.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jason.
He is my favorite.
But not a whole room full. Oh, that's too much gawk.
Too much God.
I heard something else for a second.
Oh, God.
I was like, what are we saying?
That's for Comac to decide.
So, it's Friday, huh?
I know it
Are we
was.
getting fan art?
We did this.
Sexual, but I was
Oh, is it sexy?
Stupid sexy Klingon.
I want to see
Frankly
it.
damned. Everyone goes
Pass it around.
Every time I describe a character that's big, bulky, and sleeveless, everyone goes straight for
Bring it.
sexy.
Yeah, because that's hot.
Look,
Okay, I'm gonna make a note. Start developing biceps.
same queer space contact. 2018.
2018.
Oh my gosh. All of our characters just be that.
That is amazing, and I love it.
Great.
Oh, God.
I'm so
That was
excited.
so fast.
All right.
All right, we're done.
Let's go meet the dolphins.
Scene.
Dolphin people now.
All right, I don't have anywhere to put it, so.
I've been working on the customary greeting, which is.
We're gonna pull an Ace Ventura.
Make a downward intonation.
You sound like Woody the Woodpecker.
I'm like the snort queen today.
Okay.
Hashtag snort queen.
So, yes, you guys are cleared for departure. When Sally Ride's getting ready to pull out a space dock, why don't we do this? Why don't we have some fun with this? Thank you.
No, fine.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we have you roll, Sage?
Okay.
As you guys are pulling away from space dock.
Okay. What's the difficulty?
I'm going to say the difficulty here is going to be, it's a space dock maneuver. Let's just say 1. It's pretty standard. You get confirmation from the flight control that Sally Ride has been cleared to disembark.
Control con, I'm assuming?
Yep, control con. Just another opportunity to generate some momentum, although you guys are practically at full.
2 successes.
All right, cool.
We're maxed out.
You all hear the distant echoing just as the locking clamps because again, Narendra Station does not have the same docking capabilities as a full starbase. You guys are connected on the bottom, attached, so it's an external docking port on Narendra Station, not large enough to support any kind of internal docking. So as you all leave, it's a very smooth departure process, but you hear that sweet noise of the docking clamps and everything releasing Sally into her environment, which is, of course, the vast zero-G of space. You hear that crashing against the hull, and you're free. Maneuvering thrusters, you kind of slide a little bit away from the station and advance to 1/4 impulse power. And in rear viewer screen, you see the beauty of Narendra Station as a whole. Up towards the top of the station itself, near the dorsal communications array, which are those huge towers that peak up, just like on Starbase 1. You see from the outside the promenade and the diplomatic level, which is where a lot of the Federation Starfleet officers are residing, as well as civilians from the Federation. The entire promenade level is a ring of windows, giving everyone on board the promenade all around the station a complete view of what you are all seeing now as you pull away from Narendra, which is not just the vast blacks of the deep space of the Expanse, but also, again, nebula, distant star clusters, things that you can see at this range out in deep space that you would never be able to see, say, looking up at the night sky on Earth. It's quite a beautiful sight to see the Expanse.
Or like the people on the promenade going, have fun storming the Expanse.
The Expanse. So to plot a course, however, we're going to have to roll on this.
Okay.
So it's late in the afternoon shift, so before you guys depart, you are going to need help with your stellar cartographer, who has been where you were going and has been able to, and will be able to identify the eddies that y'all are going to encounter. Unfortunately, while y'all are at warp, it's kind of a full-time job, so I'm going to tell you right now, the travel time from Starbase 364, and this is for everyone on the Below Decks podcast. Here's your travel time. I'm getting it right. It is 12 light years away, so at Warp 7, it will take 6 days, 16 hours, 14 minutes.
Ooh. Say that again?
Yeah. At Warp 7, it will take 6 days, 16 hours, 14 minutes. So.
How long ago was this emergency?
It was declared, it was the transmission was received just an hour or so ago. Wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, we'll get there quick. We'll get there as best we can.
That's space.
That's
Them's the brakes.
I'm barely restraining myself from being like, yep, good, okay, good. Are we there?
Are we there yet? Yeah. Lieutenant Baker, are you ready to connect the dots?
Can we please invent transwarp drive? Thank you.
Can get a little bit bumpy, but
need a tardigrade up in here.
But say, where's Q? And we need
I know. All we need to do is enslave an innocent life form so we can travel over the universe.
You don't need either when you've got me.
We need a Lieutenant Stanley.
All right, so this is the way this is going to work.
All right.
I'm going to allow you to roll to plot this course.
Okay.
And I'm going to allow Talon to assist, and I'm going to allow Dorothy, Lieutenant
Baker.
Dottie to assist.
Dottie Baker.
So, and of course, you will have the assistance of
the actual dots. So,
and you will have the assistance of the of the Sally Ride. Here's the rub.
What's the difficulty? I'm getting
difficulty
a lot of assists.
No, that's in the...
Difficulty of certain tasks attempted in the Expanse. Because of electromagnetic disturbances and gravimetric disturbances and eddies, the difficulty of certain tasks, and I'm going to rule this is it, they are increased by 2.
Okay. Oh, it snaps.
Yeah.
What was it?
You want to...
Already.
So the difficulty here is going to be 3.
Does Sally get a roll in here too?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And you want a thing?
Yeah, we'll
there's 4 of us rolling.
Okay. You've charted it. You know where you're going. You've kind of got a pathfinder here. So I'm going to set the difficulty at 1, increase it by 2 because of the eddies and gravimetric distortion. So 3 is your total.
Is this a computer science roll?
For Sally Ride?
Yeah, for Sally. Or is it sensors?
This is actually going to be Computers Con.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming Control Con for me.
Mm-hmm.
And for us?
Oh, God.
It's going to be for you, Talon.
Oh, no, my notebook.
Talon, for you, it's going to be Reason and Science.
Okay.
I can roll that.
And for you, Dot, I'm going to say it's going to be Daring and Science.
Okay.
Cool. Because you're using a lot of...
2 or do I roll 1?
Because this is literally you using your instincts.
I'm assuming this is... I use my technical expertise, by the way, to roll a D10, re-roll a D20.
Okay, give me 1 sec, because I need to help. So, Aki, you know 1 D20 for an assist? Okay, cool. So,
I'm assuming my helm systems and navigation is a focus that I can use.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So, I got a crit. I got almost 2 crits, but I got 3 successes.
Okay.
Yeah, I got 1 success.
I also got 1 success.
No success from Sally.
That isn't surprising. Sally's having trouble. Actually, her sensors are powerful, but she's having trouble to make sense of all the gravimetric disturbances out here.
I know. I'm trying to make it clear.
2 to after the difficulty of 3, right? Because it's 5 successes total.
Yeah,
Okay, great. So 1.
So what I'll do, if you want, you can spend one of those to create an advantage and try to cut down on travel time.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I get Chief Wren and the rest of the engineering team to kind of like boost our engines and let's.
I mean, you can. That's just traveling faster at warp. At warp 7 is going to be 6 days. It's in a distress call, so you guys can jack that up, and I can shave 2 days off of it.
Do it.
That's beautiful.
Sounds
yes,
good.
please.
Okay, so we warp.
Ludicrous
maximum
speed.
warp.
Yes.
To respond to a distress call. Okay.
Maximum warp.
The nacelles fold up, and Sally, you hear the engines powering. Lieutenant Baker, you feel that slow hum. You've been on starships before, but you are on a ship that is built to slip between the stars with the grace of light, and it just the Sally Ride jumps to maximum warp.
She flies through the
Hers like a kitty, doesn't she?
And as soon as you say that,
Oh no.
the ship begins to rumble a little bit.
Captain?
And you hear on the communications, you hear, bridge, this is engineering. You hear Jiv's voice come across.
Go ahead, engineering.
We're going to be okay. It's just a minor fluctuation in the power grid here, but I think after this whole little journey that we're taking, we're going to need to put the engines on some downtime. Traveling for that long at warp through Klingon space and now jumping to maximum warp is really straining, and we're going to need some maintenance when we put back into dock.
Understood.
All right, I'll keep you posted. Sorry for the bumps. I'll work that out.
No problem. Thank you.
And on that note, let's see if he works it out.
Keep me posted, Chief.
Yeah,
You got-
what can I help with from?
You can
my
actually monitor
station?
the power levels, and you are seeing fluctuations.
Yeah.
And go ahead and make a roll.
Thank you.
Yeah, roll on that handy little table. Roll 3 times on that handy little table I gave you. No,
What?
remember that table that I gave you?
Which one?
Probably the
This one?
truck.
That's the one.
Okay.
Pick 3 or roll. I'll leave it to you.
Ooh.
Wait,
Oh, this is
what?
gonna be good.
Pick 3 words to slam to put together.
Fine.
Just pick 3 words
or
off that
roll?
table. Or you can roll it if you want to
I'm
do it
gonna roll
randomly.
it.
All right, randomly roll it. Tell me what you get.
The quantum flux inhibitor.
Okay, the quantum flux inhibitor is actually
Feels like it makes sense.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
and you can mix match.
something
Yeah,
anything you
no,
want.
I know. I was before, but
So-
that's why I was like, "What do you mean roll? What are you talking about?" I
so
just mix and match
Quantum
them.
flux inhibitor
And apparently there is an
I need
issue
a
with the
copy of
quantum
that.
flux
of the flux
inhibitor.
I know.
capacitor.
No, the flux inhibitor.
Oh, so the
sir.
flux capacitor is still fluxing, but the flux inhibitor. Okay.
88
Yeah,
miles
it's
per hour!
inhibited.
We've gone way past
right
that.
now.
It's inhibited.
It's uninhibited.
Uninhibited.
Right, we need to inhibit
It's been
it.
We need
drinking.
inhibited.
Yeah, inhibited.
It's uninhibited.
Yep.
So
We're getting too uninhibited on this ship, I think. Yes.
I got a hip,
Gotta hip it.
hip to the hip.
the power levels that you're looking at in the at the engineering station here on the bridge.
Yeah.
You are definitely seeing, just looking at the power levels as they're fluctuating on and off throughout the course of the moment Sally jumps to warp.
Right.
You can see they peak a little bit too much, and they start taxing the containment field for a split second. It's like a moment when you turn a car engine on, and for a second it screams before it starts settling down. It's
car.
that same, it's that same sort of moment where Sally's engines have just been really pushed without rest for a while. So you're actually seeing what an engineer would see. You're seeing she's going to need some maintenance.
Yeah.
And some
needs a
downtime.
break.
Yeah, she needs a break. Even these advanced warp cores, considering that you guys made the journey across the safety corridor in record time, it's been a lot. So, and sure enough, you watch it just evidence of Jiv's expertise with that warp core. You watch the power levels begin to sink back down as he works his magic, and you all feel the ride just, and then it's smooth sailing.
Whew.
Excellent.
So we'll go ahead and we're going to
Cut to 4 days later.
Well, I believe there's a scene, a requested scene.
Oh.
How would you like that set up?
As we've gone to warp, all feeling a little discombobulated, a little weary, each one of you realizes as you're starting your logs that Federation holidays were just this past week, and no one really did anything. And as you step into your quarters, You notice in each of your rooms there is a package. And you can do whatever you like with that in character. You can burn it. You can open it right now. You can call the intruder alert.
Beam into space.
Whatever you want to do. But that is the thing that has happened on the first night of our trip.
So let's start.
Has this ever happened before?
No.
Let's start on this side of the table and just go down.
Because we haven't. No.
All right, Mala, getting back to your quarters after a stressful day. You find that in your quarters, whatever it is.
Who's it from?
It does.
You see a package. You could call security if you're concerned.
How mad are you going to be when we don't do that?
Right? It's all a drill. I'm testing it. I'm for sure testing it.
All of you have gifts. One of them is a bomb.
I want to see.
What is it? That vase is amazing.
The best face.
Yo.
Star Trek cats.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Holy shit.
How beautiful.
Wow. Somebody knows how to shop for somebody.
What does it say?
Paula, keep those engines purring.
That was impressive.
No way. Damn genius.
What is that? A fanny pack?
I'm stealing that.
Is it a fanny pack or is this a pencil bag?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Also, possibly make a bag, just like
You signed it. You can't say I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to calm room. There you go.
Commander! When were you in my room?
The commander can go anywhere without any security.
Funny that. The privileges of command.
I want this
Throw
to
low.
be a fanny pack.
Tholo, Matazi
it so.
approaches you just as your ship is coming in and going, Doctor,
Did we have that talk about not fighting with Klingons?
We did.
Great.
Not to worry. This was left for you, and he hands you that. I would tell you who it's from, but I'm not 100% sure you would believe me. But they have spots. That's all I'm saying.
No.
And then he moves away.
They have chicken pox. I'm just kidding.
That's why they keep doing it.
That's what Matazi says. I don't know who it was, but they were riddled with pox. Happy opening.
Happy Pox Day.
I haven't done one of these since medical school.
I was gonna say, Tholo pulls out the laser
It is
scalpel.
I'm taking this as in character unwrapping, and it's my favorite.
It totally is.
It's intended as...
Good. I don't know. I've never seen you unwrap presents before.
There's more tearing.
Oh, because you're more Terran.
Wah, wah.
I caught a glimpse. It's not surgery.
It is when she does it.
Bless you.
Ooh.
Oh, I know. I know.
An astronaut.
What's it say? What's it say?
They don't have to read it if they don't want to, but they can.
I'm totally being nosy.
In character, I do not read this aloud, but it says, Throlo, those who join our hearts never truly leave. You did more than discover new life. You nurtured it. I don't think she'll ever forget that. I certainly won't. R. And then in character, I smile and I kind of gently set it down, and then I just go sit for a bit.
Show them what it is.
Oh gosh, y'all can't see. I'm so sorry.
It's a rocket planter.
Amazing.
Well done. That's good.
Cutting to Sage, as you go into your quarters, you just find a note that says, I know you fucking locked me out of the computer. I know you were hacking. And I will find you.
Sage gets on a shuttle and
Goes out into the expanse. Never
My gift to
Shackleton
you.
Expanse is my new home.
My gift to you is I'm giving you 24 more hours of life than I originally planned.
I have a certain set of skills.
Oh
All right,
no.
Sage, walking into your quarters, you also
Okay.
find...
Call security, do it now.
You know that's not gonna happen.
I'm just daring all of you.
I'm renaming this episode Sam's Revenge.
I'm going to actually assume it's from Zadis, actually.
Okay.
But I'm going to be really excited because my parents never really wrapped presents for me. Most of my gifts were like books and like program stuff. Yeah. So like this is the first time I just kind of revel in the fact that I'm going to get to unwrap something, which I've never gotten to really do. Besides like the random stuff. So I'm excited.
Okay.
We don't do excitement on the show.
She just rips it.
She does.
It is not a Frollo
She does.
moment. Paper! Oh, I already can feel what we're
Oh.
Sage's secret stash. Cream soda. This is amazing.
Sage's secret stash. Oh,
How did they know I have a secret? I'm in big trouble.
Oh yeah, no, it's 100% like, you thought I didn't know.
It's like, uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
And
wow.
then... Oh, it says, Lark, may your cream soda be sweet and your tribbles daring, just like you. Oh, that's really cute.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. This is so touching. Oh, I know what this is.
Wait for it.
It's your tribble with a majority ring.
Oh my God! Star Trek Online folks watching
This is
that right
amazing.
now, laughing their
And
asses off.
obviously, let's just make this in character that it's not an actual tribble because that would be bad to have on the show.
Yeah, no.
I don't think Rue would do that to the yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, a taxidermy tribble? What is it?
This is
Yeah.
amazing.
Calendar
Yeah.
for 2017. So it's vintage.
This is amazing. And so Lark is just going to be really touched and also completely have a wave of guilt as well.
Excellent.
Oh, I've done so well at presents.
Come on, retiring to your quarters.
I said, Jesus.
The low light in here, which is typically what you keep for meditation purposes when you step in after a shift. You find
I
that.
see it in my meditation corner, actually.
Okay.
And I'm surprised. Walk over. Feels like knowledge.
Feels like knowledge.
Smells interestingly like Team Spirit.
Oh, it's a horror! Sorry. I couldn't
What's it say?
contain the nervousness. Talan, a puzzle of logic. Kiri Kinta's first law of metaphysics states that nothing unreal exists. Unicorns are creatures of myth, and yet in some sense, we exist. Here's to the unicorns. You're just trying to get me to cry these Vulcan tears.
I have no idea.
That's such a good
Unicorns
good
are a
one.
very special thing. Thank you.
All right, Martinez. All right, Martinez.
Rafael Martinez, is this like the end of the shift?
Yeah,
This is
when you
everything
walk in,
winding down?
what you do is you basically find it sitting on the table next to your bottle of blood wine in glasses that you haven't put away yet from your drink with the Klingon earlier. But that wasn't there before. I don't know why, but I immediately just pictured like a get out of jail free card from Monopoly. Like,
I would never, ever, ever hand those out.
and you can cross
No
me
one gets
once.
out of jail free.
Okay. Oh. Flip it over. You want to hold it up?
That is.
Oh yeah. Battle of Brawn, Kirk versus Gorn.
This is amazing.
Raphael, by sparing your helpless enemy who surely would have destroyed you, you demonstrated the advanced trait of mercy, something we hardly expected. A worthy lesson. R.
So I show this. I didn't show this.
Yeah, show that off, right? That's good, right?
So beautiful.
Mine's on display.
Martinez to Commander Rue.
Hi, sir.
Thank you, Commander.
I have no. You're welcome, sir.
Cut to. What the hell is this? am I supposed to do with this?
Oh my god.
Shiv has never gotten a present.
Oh, poor baby. Oh.
Oh.
Veth?
That's his first name.
He never
All of
hears
them
that.
have their first names.
He never hears that.
Yeah, no. That's a.
The ship you keep is named for more than an astronaut. Sally Ride provided the engineering information that led to the cause of Columbia's explosion. And she was the only person who publicly supported an engineer who revealed that he had warned of the technical issues of Challenger before the disaster. She made sure our spaceships were safe, even when it wasn't an easy thing to do. Reminds me of someone I know, R.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not crying. I'm sick. Leave me alone.
Jiv just takes a look at it and says, "There's definitely a changeling on board."
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Damn it.
Yours are wearing it, I'm sorry. I
Sam,
already got my gift.
Could you do me a favor and tell Rue that I love them very much and thank you?
Oh my
Will
goodness.
do.
This is
We all
amazing.
signed that big card.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Happy holidays.
How? This
Happy
is
holidays.
How. And if, I just want to note that the Bajoran earring has a feather for a little bird.
Oh.
So, that's
All right,
cool.
we have 1 hour.
And we're at warp, and we're there.
In truth, because of the exquisite technical expertise of both your navigator, your science officer, the challenges presented and overcome in engineering, and your stellar cartographer, who has familiarity with this quadrant of space, you all arrive in about 2 days ahead of schedule at the system in question, which is System J991. The system itself, the Streethian system, 6 planets, yellow sun. It has all these planets, by the way, are uncharted. The only charted planet is the Streethian homeworld, which is the 3rd planet in the system. If you want to know more, please let me know, and you can scan the planets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're gonna scan the planets?
Yeah.
All right. From outer to inner, I have information for you if you're willing to scan. So it's going to be a roll.
Yeah.
Using Sally Ride
Yep.
sensors. Difficulty is increased by 2, so the difficulty here is going to be 3.
Does that mean reduced by 1 because of me?
And because of Sally's sensor suite.
Yep.
So there's still 3 though?
No, it'll be 2.
2, got it.
I had forgotten about that. Yeah. So.
Okay.
So as you guys come out of warp up on the main view screen, you see the system that you left a little more than a week ago. Still that big, beautiful yellow sun, and this system is filled with gas giants, and they are a sight to behold. Marbled, spiraling colors all over these huge gas giants. A few of them look very similar to Jupiter, but a lot of them have these different sort of deep blues and purple effects from all the strange and unusual chemical compositions that are floating in their atmospheres. Go ahead and make a roll on the very first planet of the system. Sally can, all the planets are in range, so you can get information on all of them. So what I'll do in order to save us time is make a roll with the sensor check, and for every momentum you spend, I will go ahead and give you a full sensor sweep of each planet you scan.
Great.
Sound good?
Should I bother doing one of these?
Sure.
Is it sensor science?
It's, yes, for Sally it'll be sensor
I'll say
science,
it's fine.
reduced difficulty. The difficulty was going to be 3, it is now 2.
Doesn't matter.
It's in character. It's a tough scan. It's not usual. I mean, there's a lot of
Solid
electromagnetic disturbances in the system. So let's see what Talon gets.
Ooh. Well, I got 2 successes, and I can re-roll because. Or wait.
Did you get a complication you're going to re-roll?
It's 19. Is that a complication?
No.
No.
Okay.
But
It would have
did
to be
you
a
take
20.
cautious?
I did. I just.
Yeah, that was our level up.
Yep.
Woo.
Yep. She switched her trait and she leveled up.
I'm pleased.
That was my level up.
Rue is very pleased.
Again, that's one of the things that I love about Star Trek Adventures rule set is as you go, you don't necessarily just advance, but you can actually shift your stats around when you realize it's like when you're playing a fighter and you're like in D&D and you're level 5 and you're like, damn it, I wish I had made this guy a two-handed fighter. Like I should have gone. But in Star Trek Adventures, it lets you say, you know, I've been playing this character for so long, I see that I'm using this more than something else. It lets you in the rule system shift it around. I like
That's
that a lot.
super cool.
Yeah, I dig
Reminds me a
that.
bit of Powered by the Apocalypse as well.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. Well, if I use a discipline, I get a crit.
Okay. So total successes?
Well, that would be 4.
So
if I can
okay.
Astrophysics, would that be the? Sorry, not discipline. You know what I mean.
Focus?
Yeah.
Probably not astrophysics. No.
Okay.
But what other focuses do you have?
I have mythology, archaeology, xenobiology, stellar environmental anthropology, innovation with tools. I guess not.
No, probably
Yeah, not
But
like.
one of these days, I'm going to throw you for a loop and be like, use your mythology focus.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm just going to throw you for a loop.
Hey, I mean,
That
did you
day
come
could
in
be
thinking
today.
you'd have a huge botany thing to go with your botany focus?
Yeah,
No,
that
I
was
did not.
so
There
cool.
you go.
Dorothy, you're also, Lieutenant, you're also getting a very good view of the scans that Talana's making.
Well, that means we got movement.
as you're
I got
watching, because again, you have
3.
sort of like a little subset window up here where you can follow along with what
So, yeah.
the chief science officer is doing, so that you can supplement if needed. And watching her scan, it's incredible because you're not sure a human can move that fast on the sensors. But Talon is easily compensating and immediately anticipating gravitational effects that would disrupt the Sally Ride sensors array. It is a maestro on a grand piano. So, the first one, the Class J planet, unexplored. The size of this planet is immense. It's about the size of Jupiter. The atmosphere is filled with ammonia, sulfur, methane, and water vapor. Stormy. It's difficult to read inside the atmosphere. If you want to spend any more momentum to learn more about the planet, let me know. Otherwise, we'll move on.
I think we can move on.
Move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is a Class N type planet, Venus styled. It's unexplored, has a rocky surface. Temperature average is about 700 to 1,000 degrees Celsius. It is in a constant state of acid rain and violent storms. And it has 3 small moons. If you'd like to spend momentum to know more, please let me know.
I'd like to know about the moons.
The moons? The moons are essentially big rocks. So spend your momentum.
Is it a Death Star? They said that is no moon. Sorry.
I'll go ahead and just give this to you now without having you burn momentum on the moons.
Science officer question.
The moons are just rocks.
Okay.
Yeah, they have no atmosphere.
I love rocks. Rocks are cool.
Rocks rock.
Yeah.
But if you ever want to know more about any of these planets, let me know.
Okay.
Then the other 3 are unremarkable Class 3, 3 Class I supergiants with very gas giants that have very much the same makeup. And then standing out like, much like Earth does in its solar system, a sore thumb, there is a Class M world. Population, 1 billion life forms detected on the planet. It has 1 moon. Average temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. It's an ocean world with small land masses, and the deepest point is 67 kilometers deep.
Was that the atmospheric or the water temperature?
You don't have a read on the water temperature.
Okay, cool. So atmospheric.
Yeah.
Thanks so
Is it
much.
20, 27? What was that?
But you're also detecting rich mineral deposits on the Class M homeworld, which is the Streethian homeworld.
Okay.
You're also detecting warp signatures deep within the solar system itself, as well as the occasional indication that there are. It's not I would say evidence not of interstellar travel, but intersystem travel. Probably from Moon and back.
I'm so sorry to ask you to repeat, but I
What's
did
up?
get messed up writing them down. You said there were 6 planets. Mm-hmm. There's the Venus-like one, 3 gas giants.
3 super gas giants, Class I. They're rather unremarkable. There's nothing interesting about them.
The Jupiter-like one.
There's
Which is Class J.
there's a gas giant that's the farthest from the system, and the Venus type. Those are the 2. Those are the only ones that have readings that indicate that there might be more going on that planet. But and then the other 3 are gas giants.
And then the
And a bunch of moons.
sixth
And then the
is-
Class
okay,
M. Street.
got it. Thank you.
Then the Street homeworld. Yeah.
Great.
And that is where we are.
All right, I relay this information to the captain.
Okay. Proceeding on impulse power towards the street home world.
Mm-hmm.
You receive the Federation distress call.
On screen.
It's coming in. It's scattered, so when it pops up on the view screen, you just see static. But
And this is from 4 days ago.
Yeah.
yes, but the message is possibly older
Okay.
because it had to travel through
Yep.
interstellar space to get
Yep.
there. So it was probably it's more like probably 5 days old.
Okay.
Right.
So what you see, Lieutenant Baker, is you hear a very familiar voice of one of your team members, but you can't make out what's being said. And the message is looping, and it cuts off with an explosion, and then it goes. Shh,
Oh no, that's not good.
but there's no visible picture.
Well, this is certainly not how I left things.
Lieutenant Baker, this was your team?
Yes, sir.
Did you recognize any of their voices?
I recognized the voice, but I couldn't make out what he was saying.
Neither could I. Okay, well, go ahead and take us in, Ensign. We're going to head to the last place Lieutenant Baker was. We're going to head right to where that distress signal came from.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You plot a course, setting in the system. It takes all of about 5 minutes at
Plotted.
sublight speed.
Here we go.
As you start pulling into orbit of the Strethian homeworld, you see, again, it's like a super Earth. It's huge. This planet is easily twice the size of Earth, or twice the size of Bajor. It is a very large planet, and it is an ocean world. You see the beautiful deep blues of this oceanic planet with shadows from the clouds in the upper atmosphere. You can only imagine that what it must look like on planet side is quite lovely. Everywhere you look, probably golden paths of sunlight just arcing down what would be an endless ocean.
World.
And there is a moon that has a clear habitation ring built upon it. And you see space traffic coming and going. And when Sally Ride begins to pull into orbit, you immediately receive what could be charitably described as a hailing frequency.
We're being hailed, Captain.
Oh, on screen.
There's no visual. You just hear through the intercom system on the bridge, you hear the very familiar sound of the language of the Strethians as the universal translator immediately starts chewing on it. It sounds very sort of like a low hum with the occasional clicking sound as it's coming through. You imagine immediately, for those of you who are familiar with Earth again, as a reference point, underwater this might actually sound like whale song. But up here it sounds like a like it sounds sort of distorted clicks and the occasional popping sound coming out.
We probably can do like wee.
But you hear the computer constantly beeping and whirring as it's trying to make sense using the universal translator. And slowly words begin to emerge over the comm and says, "Repeat, this is Strethian High Command. Please identify yourself."
Yes, sorry. This is... Hello, greetings. This is Captain Rafael Martinez of the USS Sally Ride, a Federation vessel. We have been sent a distress signal from your planet's surface, a team of Federation scientists, and we are here to investigate.
Oh, you've arrived.
Yes.
We are welcoming you.
Thank you. How can we be of assistance?
Your team members, your people, they
Yes.
are trapped. We don't have much information. We need, perhaps, if you have the technology to help us. And then you hear, "Step aside. I shall speak to them. Go." And then a few minutes pass, and it's dead silent on the comm.
Hello? This is Rafael Martinez. Who am I speaking with?
Hello.
It's still a
Is
clear
this-
signal.
Hello, I'm holding for Hux.
Yeah.
Can they hear me?
Why? They can hear you, Captain.
This is the USS Sally Ride.
Correct, yes.
Sally Ride, my name is Janut. I am the designated president of the Strethian people.
High Command, yes. It
Yes.
is an honor to speak with you, Janut.
We are ready to receive you and inform you as to the situation down here. There has been an unforeseen disaster on our hydro station at the bottom of the trench.
we would accept your coordinates and we will beam down to meet with you, sir.
Oh, yes.
Your honor.
Beaming, of course.
Yes.
Then I will give you what coordinates we can.
Thank you, Yanut. Is there any other way that we can be of assistance?
Perhaps you can tell me when you arrive.
Very well. Thank you again, Your Highness.
President will be fine.
Thank you, sir.
See you soon.
Yes.
Captain.
Soon.
And you hear the comms cut off. The awkward conversation is two cultures who have no idea about each other trying to communicate for the first time.
Commander, be sure to put that in the record.
What's up?
They have a president.
Considering I just have had contact with them and one of my focuses is cultural studies, would this be an opportunity to kind of give him a little bit of a rundown of
that? And if you want to roll an insight check too, you can get a general disposition of what Yanut's going through.
Cool.
You are going to be point person on this whole interaction.
Yay.
While we're doing those, hi. My name is Rue. Insight what I do.
Okay, cool.
Big momentum, yeah.
My name is Root. Insight what I do.
Alright, that's the actual roll.
So difficulty here, of course, is
I would
1.
not have succeeded without my upgrade.
And I'm going to make this a contested roll, which shouldn't be too tricky for you. Okay. Go
2
ahead.
from me.
How many?
2.
2. Okay. So that'll give you 1 momentum.
Good to know.
You get the impression once the universal translator kicked in, you were able to get some inflection on what he was saying. You definitely detect a sense of anxiety, and I guess the best way to describe it, Rue, would be, you know how somebody who is in a position of power but is intimidated? Mm-hmm. You get the impression that he's trying to not show he's intimidated. But he's clearly nervous about... Your instinct tells you it's probably because he's meeting a new spacefaring race that he's still trying to get to know, and then there's been an accident, so he doesn't,
But he's going to the nervous place and trying to hide it rather than going to the defensive feathers fluff up.
If you want to know more, you can spend momentum.
I'll read him again later.
Okay. Did you want to make an insight check as well?
Sure, why not?
Go ahead and roll.
Do this thing.
All right, so the difficulty is going to be 1. This is going to be, I think it'll be the same thing that Sam just... Well, for you, it's going to be insight and command.
That is blessed.
Yep. And you can use your focus here.
With cultural studies? Okay, I don't exactly remember what that does for me.
It doesn't for this roll.
Okay.
And so difficulty here is 1.
I got 1 success.
1 success. That's enough. All right. You've met Yanut once before you were delegated to one of his ministers, and also the Security Council, which immediately took control of the situation when you guys first arrived, which is not unusual for first contact. A lot of species go, aliens? We're going to tell our military about this just to make sure everything's cool. If you want to spend a momentum to learn more, I'll tell you more. The impression you're getting right now is kind of the same as Rue, but you have a little more context since you know this creature. Yanut is what you know of him. They are probably nervous that they're probably a little nervous that there's going to be repercussions for something happening to the team. They don't know how the Federation is going to react when a newly discovered species
we just made first contact and now we trapped them underwater.
Yeah,
Are they mad at us?
basically it's like handing somebody, oh, this is a great little vase. How old is it? Break.
600 years.
So it's kind of, so the impression you're getting just off the top of your head from what you know about Yanut is that as the president and head of the high command, he's probably considering all of his options right now.
Okay.
In case you guys decide to beam down with guns.
I mean, that's understandable.
I'm probably going to
I always beam down with
advise
guns.
the captain.
That's going to be a gift.
Sir, if I may be permitted to offer some advice.
Please, Lieutenant.
These people, they're really quite friendly and accepting, but they're a little bit worrisome. I think that the best thing that we can do is to reassure them that our only intent is to get our people out there and help them however we can, because I don't want to say they scare easy, but they scare a little easy.
Okay, that's good to know. That's very good to know. Very helpful. Did you want to use a momentum to gain more information?
You have the option if you want.
Sure.
Go for it.
So, Lieutenant, one of the most dangerous missions that Starfleet could ever embark on is First Contact. It is typically the one where the Federation lets. I mean, you have to let your guard down and be the peaceful and you don't know what you're walking into, another culture. And some of the most deadly encounters have been failed First Contact missions, but also some of the Federation's finest hours. This mission so far has been going quite well, but you get the impression that even though this species has achieved warp flight, there is something this is not unheard of. A lot of the citizens of this world are frightened by the fact that they just opened the door to the universe.
Yeah.
And so the unrest that's begun to take place has begun to settle a little bit. The appearance of the Federation in First Contact has reignited it. Mm-hmm. It's not volatile, but there's a lot of people that are paranoid. And unfortunately, the president of the Strethian Society is in the camp of, I just had to protect my people. And he does, and just the beaming technology alone when y'all first appeared was alarming. Mm-hmm. Because as you might imagine, the first thing they went into their heads were about they can beam into our houses and kill our children.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but
reasonable assumption.
The Strethians are a pretty compassionate, open-minded race, but they are, as you have described, rattled. And the impression you've gotten from Yanut is that he's preparing for the worst.
Okay.
Would be my note.
Since we don't know what's going on, sir, we should bring as large and diverse a team as possible on the UA mission.
Yeah, I agree, and we need everybody. We need everybody on deck for this one, and all of their specialties at the forefront. Before we got those coordinates for where to beam down to meet the president, correct? Before we do that, can we try to hail the?
I'm going to spin 2 threat.
Why?
Oh, crap.
Because the turbo lift doors are opening and a Klingon is stepping off.
I've been curious. No, please.
Tolosh steps.
Have we met yet, by the way?
No.
He and I?
No.
You haven't had the opportunity yet.
Yeah.
And in the past, I'm just going to say this: in the days of travel that you guys have had through warp, he has almost been in his quarters the whole time.
Tolosh.
And when he's not in his quarters, he's been engaging in damn near lethal combat on the holodeck. And you have met him.
I know those programs.
Throlo. Mm-hmm. And what you discovered is that
you programmed a couple.
He has. The best description of Tolosh that I can give you is this is a Klingon that is... you're not sure if it's because of his size or his skill, but for whatever reason, he is intimidated by no one. And as such, feels the need to intimidate no one. Oh. In other words, he's a Klingon who... You know that old saying, those who truly have power have no need to show it? Mm-hmm. He moves with a confidence. He doesn't. There's nothing like boisterous about him. He doesn't try to convince people that he's a mighty.
He doesn't have like a Napoleon complex, like needing to prove anything.
Right.
Those who got it don't flaunt it.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't need to explain how great he is. He walks into the room with the full knowledge of what he's capable of, and he lets people figure it out.
Have I just happened to run into him, or did he come by?
He came into sick bay because he walked in with a dislocated and broken arm.
Awesome.
Amateur.
It was dangling off to the side when he walked in.
Fix it.
Fix it. Round 2 is commencing.
And what you discovered about this Klingon, Throlo, is that he is remarkably personable. Totally willing to engage in conversation, will occasionally threaten, but then laugh. And the laugh really, it almost, the impression you've gotten from him, I won't even make you roll, but the impression you've gotten from him is that he's not really threatening you. But he loves, it seems to me that what you've discovered is that this Klingon loves to lean into the stereotype of what people are expecting from him. And he likes to make fun of. That's the doctor's perception.
All right, I immediately love this guy.
Okay. Matazi too is just kind of fascinated, and Matazi notes after your medical scans that he has his body is covered in what appear to be medical scars. He's probably broken every bone in his body multiple times over the course of his life.
Or 4 days.
It's happened so often that just looking at his redundant rib cage that he has, that Klingons have, he's probably shattered that thing at least twice and had it repaired. This is a Klingon that has put himself through the ringer.
I'd say if this happens multiple times, I would say that I've probably done it. Like, I was incredibly nervous the first time because I'm expecting him to be picking fights and all this stuff. And then by like the third time I see him, I'm like, didn't we have a talk about taking better care of yourself? Like,
see, I'm just saying, you know how I'm never in your sick bay? He's getting hurt in the simulations. I don't need redundancy. I don't get it.
So he comes striding onto the bridge.
Commander. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Permission to come aboard your bridge.
Of course, always, yes.
Yeah, we're like
Commander Talash, this is the senior staff. If you haven't met him yet, this is our Klingon guest. Just one quick question. Lieutenant Baker, were there any Klingon members of the away party that you were a part of from Narendra Station?
Not that I recall, sir.
Okay, so this is what we're dealing with, Commander. There are some Starfleet personnel down on this planet. We have just recently made first contact with them. They may be in need of some assistance. They may be trapped. We're going to beam down to see what we can do to help them. You're welcome to come along if you'd like, or you can stay here. It's up to you.
I'll come.
Okay, that's great. Cool. Maybe some of your knowledge and expertise might actually be of help to hopefully save some lives. So we do have those coordinates. Is there any way that we can try to contact the station itself? Have we tried that yet?
No.
Okay,
no.
Can we do that now that we're here at the planet? Can we try to hail
You
them?
can try to. You wouldn't be able to contact the station, but you do have. I mean, you can connect to your team.
Right.
You can, at least you can try.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is that's going to be. I'm actually going to say Mala's going to have to help you with this.
I was going to say,
Right,
come over to
like
my
that.
station.
Yeah. Mala's going to need to help you with this one. And there's lots of other things that you guys can do too. Like Talon, if you want to scan for them.
Yeah, I was thinking like, if we can see across light years,
I would love it.
what can we do?
I would have
hefting my
a general
medical kit
idea of their base last known last known coordinates that I could give to Talon.
You know that when you left, they were being invited to look. One of the impressive things about this culture is they have just launched and they've just entered a new era of not only warp capacity, but they have entered into a new era of clean technology. They're using wave power and hydrothermal vents to power their entire civilization.
Nice.
So as a result of that, they've ended up building hydrothermal vents at the bottom of the oceans, along with these farms, these huge farms that span miles and miles of basically wave generators that are powering. And I apologize to everyone at home who's noticed that I've said kilometers and miles. What are you gonna do?
You know what?
What are you gonna
Deal
do?
with it.
What's that? Yeah,
Deal with it.
So
distance has no meaning here.
We here at Geek and Sundry, we read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and the Philosopher's Stone.
And the Philosopher's Stone.
We do both.
The Sorcerer Philosopher's Stone.
Would we turn down a chance to read Harry Potter?
We say herbs and herbs. Because it's got an H in it. It's got an H in it.
All right. So let's do this. You can go ahead and open up communications.
Yes, sir.
So then what we're going to need you to do, Mala, is I'm going to need you to make a, let's see what kind of roll we're going to need from you.
Ooh, new number.
Mala.
It's probably going to be the same number.
We believe in you.
Yeah, Mala, control is your strong stat, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because that would make sense. So control engineering.
Yep, that's the one.
What is your focus? Do you have a focus that would help here, that you think you could rationalize helping here?
Possibly.
Possibly.
There it is. It's the wrong color now, so I can't find it.
We can make it pretty colors.
Use a highlighter.
Dang.
No.
Okay, then you might.
Yes.
What do you? So you're trying to connect.
I can try. Yeah.
It's for you. This is gonna be a control.
Also, are Sally rolling?
Yeah, Sally will roll.
Someone roll for Sally, please.
I got you.
There you go.
We'll see what we
All
can
right.
do.
Taking some momentum, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
Difficulty.
Control and.
So here's what I'm gonna say. You're gonna need Mala to do this, and you
Right.
can assist.
Okay.
So otherwise, I'm gonna make
Johnny,
you
I could
roll
use some
control
for
con, and I know
Commander
that's gonna be
Baker.
bad for you.
Lieutenant. Lieutenant.
I know that Control Con is not good for you.
Not great,
So,
no.
so what I'm going to do is I'll have you roll. I'll let you roll. I'll let you roll Reason and Command,
Okay.
and then you go ahead and make the assigned roll that I just gave you. And Sally, of course, can use her
Communications
comms and. On this one. Honestly, on this one, it's going to be It's going to be comms and con
That doesn't look good.
Comms and
For
con
me?
for the ship.
Or Sally.
for Sally.
Okay, I'm control engineering.
Right.
Dottie?
So Sally's comms and con. Why are you laughing? Did you get a complication?
Playing D&D.
Did you roll a 20?
Which is awesome.
Welcome, Aki.
Except in
Welcome
this
to the
game.
dice.
That's our Ox crew. Just throwing them 20s down.
I'm gonna spray. What was the difficulty?
5.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I didn't tell you the difficulty. The difficulty here is going to be 3.
Okay.
Have technical expertise?
I do.
Do we use the computer?
And cautious.
Yeah, our
yeah.
sensors? Yeah, we
No,
do.
we use communications.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit, never mind. You can't use technical expertise.
You're trying to get a connection.
Cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you
Cautious
can-
we can use, but that's a root.
Right,
Yeah.
reroll it.
Yeah.
You're going to need it.
See, ain't it great? Whew. Ain't it great?
3 successes?
Huh? Oh, fuck. I can't focus.
I know.
Yeah, is there an empathy focus? These people are dying.
Hey guys,
I'm
I
invested
know
emotionally.
I know it sucks down there, so I'm going to use that to connect to you across this technological.
And one from Sally.
Yay!
Sally?
One
How many
oh no!
We got, oh.
You moved
My
too
assist-
fast. Too
this
much
might-
momentum.
Spilled milk.
This might,
Here, the triple will be a standard.
Yeah, we did have a
Yes.
complication over here on the assist.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh, wait,
no.
never mind.
That's why I went to dice break.
Thank you.
Okay.
You got it.
flip this.
With the complication, I'm going to rule that you establish a connection and cannot make out what's being said. But someone receives and responds on the other side.
So
Not dead yet.
they can hear us.
They can hear you guys, but they're not able to respond. You guys are trying to connect through gravitational anomalies that exist in the expanse and 67 kilometers of seawater and whatever else interference is down there.
Oh, we're gonna be down underwater.
Oh, no.
So it's
we can use
a
our
little tricky.
wetsuits.
Huh?
We could use our wetsuits.
You're in Viro suits.
And our harpoons.
Get the wetsuit.
Can you imagine
Action figure.
what a different story would have been if Moby Dick and it was hunted by a freaking Intrepid class starship just crashing through the waves?
So I'll say on the message like, "Hello, this is Captain Rafael Martinez with the USS Sally Ride. We have been we've heard your distress signal. We are responding to it. We also have a Lieutenant Baker aboard. We are heading down right now to speak with the President Yanut, to figure out exactly what's going on and what the best plan of action is to try to help all of you. But please stand by. We're on our way, and we'll hopefully be able to rescue you soon."
You're relatively certain, I'm going to say with a complication, they can't reply,
Okay.
and you have some level of confidence that they heard at least most of that.
Okay,
Cool.
good enough for me.
Take it.
You do see through the wavelengths of the communication connection that you were able to actually get at least some of that through.
Okay,
Whoever's listening on the other side seems to respond, but you can't make it out.
that's fine. As long as they know somebody's here.
Talon, did you want to make a roll?
Yes.
Go ahead. Difficulty here is with Sally's reduced difficulty would be 2.
And what am I rolling for?
Are you? I'm guessing you were scanning.
Just scanning, just seeing what's out there.
Are you trying to detect the life forms?
Okay.
Or yeah, go ahead.
How many life forms, I guess? Ooh, I got a success and a crit.
Oh.
Natural
Okay.
crit. No focus needed.
Okay.
Wait,
Are
it
you
was
rolling?
So
difficulty.
that's 3.
Oh.
Difficulty
Our
was
Lady
2.
of
yeah.
I'm
Sensors
rolling
Awesome?
for
Yeah.
sensors.
Roll for Sally. Yeah. It's Sally.
Number
So
16.
16.
yep. So it's going to be sensors and science. Which Sally
And that's
did
a
good.
complication, folks. That can tell right there. That is
Oh.
that
I
is
love
a
you, Gina.
nat
You give
20.
me so much joy.
Wowza.
My hands! None of you are playing D&D, come on!
It's been a few weeks. The holidays
rolled a
That's the running
17
joke is
and
that
an
Wheaton would be
18
so good at this
every
game.
time.
really
Today
for
for
Sally.
Sally.
Wow.
Yes. And now a 20.
It just it continues to hold that Wheaton would be amazing at a Star Trek RPG.
Yeah.
We're passing it along.
This was
Just
basically
roll them
made
ones.
for
Just
him.
roll them
For
ones.
him.
No! Have you seen him in Paranoia?
We'll get it.
Why did he roll 20s in Paranoia? Was he
Yeah,
rolling
he rolled
like
high.
crazy? Oh,
Or like, I don't remember
In that
last
case, we
Paranoia,
must-
but
Spare
we've seen him in a
sand
roll
dice.
high game,
Okay.
in a roll low game, and like, no. He sucks at rolling.
So how many
I wouldn't be
success-
surprised though that if in the design of this game someone went, wait, Will Wheaton will maybe want to play at some point. This should be a 2D system.
We might get his endorsement if we make this up.
Alright.
Sorry, Modiphius. You know that wasn't your plan.
We got people to save, people.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
So, sensors are able to detect multiple life forms at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh my God.
You're not able to detect how many, just that there's a general cluster of life forms at what appears to be a hydro station that has been buried under rock at the bottom of the trench.
Interesting. Okay.
And beyond that, you can't get any more information.
Would we be able to?
I'm going to pull that complication in. Unless you want to burn
Science?
I'll let you burn some momentum if you want to get rid of that.
Extra science question, even with that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ask if we can beam down.
Go ahead.
Are we can we,
Your extra science question will be influenced by the complication, just to let you know.
Right, okay. Yeah, I want to know, will our transporters get us down there?
You can beam down there, yes.
Okay.
But it's not going to be a simple beam me down kind of thing. It's you're beaming through all the seawater, which is not really a problem. But it does complicate things when you consider that it's at the bottom of the trench, it's underneath rock, you don't have an exact composition of what the rock is made of, and you don't know what the exact situation is with the hydro station itself.
Yeah, I want to burn another one to ask what the integrity of that structure is currently.
Okay.
That's what's up.
All right. So the station has been compromised. And what it looks like is half the station has been, it's either been it's safe to assume it's been crushed because it's not appearing on sensors, which makes you believe that a large portion of the station is probably flooded. If there are people alive down there, which sensors are telling you there are, they've probably been trapped behind flood doors for days, trying to hold out, which immediately, worst case scenario, you're already picturing oxygen deprivation being an issue.
Running out of resources.
Yeah. At 67 kilometers of depth, it will take next to nothing for that whole place to just implode like a crushed can the moment it loses integrity.
I have an Amy question because I feel like Throla would know this because Star Trek people would know this.
Yeah, what's up?
How does beaming interact with like a tightly pressurized situation?
It's okay.
I think,
Yes.
The transporter,
Should be fine.
It sucks the air out and puts you in and everything is fine?
Let me put it this way.
Displacement.
Let me put it this way. It's one of those areas where the fiction of science fiction comes into play.
They have figured it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
It's
cool.
That's one of the science fiction aspects. So beaming in, you're not gonna. I wouldn't. If this is Battlestar Galactica, I would totally fuck you on that.
I mean, the question of whether or not we're displacing limited supplies of oxygen, I think, was the issue.
I was worried that like the increased pressure of pushing aside the oxygen would cause structural
Whether or not
problems.
it's displaced
Matter suddenly appearing in,
No,
because pressure does become an instance down there. Don't worry about it. I won't pull that on you.
And ideally, I mean, just to posit this, we would want to like, if we can't get contact, then we would want to beam you down for sure, and maybe a couple, whoever else. But also, hopefully, we could just beam them all out to safety. Yeah, instead of anyone having to go down there.
I'm sure it'll definitely be this easy.
But we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we beam down to the president.
Yes.
Okay.
With our Klingon liaison.
Okay.
All of us?
And I think I would advise, Captain, that we bring no more than we actually need.
By the way, real quick, Aki, you have no doubt in your mind that the Klingon coming with you guys is going to complicate this dramatically.
But I'm not entirely sure of the wisdom of saying that while the Klingon is present.
Understood. Yeah, because you haven't really gotten to know those good.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so we'll cut to you guys, the team, all of y'all beaming in.
And Lieutenant Baker as well.
Okay, cool. So have you guys left basically a shift up on the bridge and you all beamed down?
Yes.
It looks like a simple rescue mission. You guys are pretty much the crew to do this if there's a rescue mission with your skills.
We're like the A-team. Everybody's got an
Wait,
awesome
so
specialty.
we're not meeting the president. We're going straight down there.
No.
You're beaming into the audience of the
Apparently, we're
president.
dilly-dallying with dignitaries before we do important
Got it.
work. Yes.
First contact rules, but still antsy.
We also need more information
All right, so I'm sorry.
him on the phone.
Where are you beaming?
to talk to the president.
Okay, cool.
Whatever
So,
coordinates he sent us,
beaming
yeah.
into the presidential palace. This place looks very Grecian when you arrive. A lot of pillars, lots of open spaces. You get the impression just from being in here that the weather doesn't hardly ever change on this planet. It is a cool 60 degrees Fahrenheit, I guess, would be 20 degrees Celsius. So it's a nice, cool weather.
Gorgeous.
Beaming down here, if this place had more land, it could rival Risa on how beautiful it is. And rising from a desk that's made of sea rock that's built up, it's not primitive looking. It's all very I would say it's structured and elegantly carved to honor the past. And as you beam into the room, you see a lot of these creatures, the Strethians, rising to their feet and staring in wonder at the effect of people materializing out of nothing. What you assume is the president, judging from the gold and dark blue finery decorating their body. One of the Strethians steps forward, and as the transport completes, very straightens up. And first of all, they average about 5 feet tall. Mm-hmm. So everyone in here is probably either a little bit taller than all of them.
Finally!
Character.
But the president says, I am President Yanut.
Hello, Mr. President. I'm Rafael Martinez, captain of USS Sally Ride, and with me is my team of specialists that can help the potentially trapped Starfleet officers.
Marvels at
I should have said different alien races from different worlds. Yes.
Dot, it is good to see you again.
It is good to see you, Yanut. Is everyone faring well?
No, we are quite worried about our people. We have not heard from them in days.
I understand your reticence and your concern. We're going to do the best we can to get everyone out safely.
Yes, your technology would be most helpful. We can't access the station as it's buried under a rock, apparently.
How have communications been?
We have not been able to reach them, but we do know through sonar pings that they are alive.
Okay.
Captain, I don't know how to say this. I am sorry. We had no control over what happened.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's it seems as if it was an accident, and we're just here to try to help as many people as possible.
Yes. Unusual, but yes, an accident.
What would help right now the most, Mr. President, is if you could give us as much information as possible as to what exactly happened so that we could determine how our technology can help.
Glances over and one of them, what's up?
He said, yes, unusual. What? I just wanna, what was that?
Yeah,
weird.
We made eye contact like, are your listening eyes open?
Listening eyes are open.
Does anyone want to do an inside check?
I have no idea what
The
you're talking
Betazoid is doing
I'm
it.
doing that.
So I'll tell you, Betazoid.
Yeah.
Immediately you sense, the moment y'all appeared, a spike in anxiety.
Yeah, specifically that line when he said it was an accident, and you went, yes, most unusual.
You sense from him when he said yes, unusual. You sense you get the best way to describe the impression you're getting is he wish he could tell you more. He honestly seems a little stumped. But when you ask what exactly happened, he goes, we had a seismic event. It's unusual, Captain, because our world has not had a seismic event that we have logged through historical. Our scientists are aware that there has not been a seismic event on this world in 2.5 billion years. It's unusual, and I have no explanation.
That's fine. Give us as much information that you can about the actual station itself, its specifications, its measurements, the depth, anything and everything.
One of them approaches and says something to him, and the universal translator isn't picking it up as he specifically focuses on the translator. Sometimes if they don't want you to hear what, like the way the Klingons can get away with talking Klingon in front of a universal translator.
He's talking Pig Latin.
Yeah, walks up to the president and says a few words.
Universal translator can't.
President raises his hand and just says their hand and says.
That's what I thought. I was like, we're all they, yes.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you everything. And brings up the schematics on a screen. And you see what looks like a highly advanced hydrothermal power station. Very large, probably the size, I would say about the size of the campus of Starfleet Academy, so it's big enough to accommodate, it's like a reactor basically built on the bottom, so it's very large. And he goes into detail about how they detected the fall in, the cave-in and whatnot, and how these rocks basically crushed half of it.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Up until this point, with their new technology, with like all of the clean energy stuff that they've been installing, have they had any like signs that something like this would happen? Like,
No.
yeah. So this hasn't.
No, their homeworld has been. Like he said, there's this homeworld, of course, like any world has tectonic plates. Any Class M world like this is in a state of shift. But again, there has not been a significant seismic event in billions of years.
So even with all the construction, nothing like this has ever happened. Okay.
Mr. President, have there been any aftershocks?
No. And it was strange when it happened. Perhaps I could show you. And he says,
Please.
The citizenry has been quite appalled. The situation since you left has degraded somewhat. They believe that you are all responsible for this.
That's what I was.
I see.
Let me show you what happened. And you see, he presses a few buttons, and you see news feeds from under the water and as well as some of the land cities as they're talking and discussing, and sporting events that are taking place everywhere on the planet, talk shows explaining like what's going on with the warp. It looks like it is a civilization that is in the process of trying to understand what it is that they've accomplished. It looked like an everyday, everyone talking about the aliens that have beamed on board, and how open the government is being and how refreshing it is, and all this excitement. And then you see the earthquake happening, or the planet quake, I should say. And you watch some unusual activity. As the planet, you see some people are shaking. You see a few of the cameras which are recording sporting events, which of course are happening out on the surface of the water as they're playing these games at high speeds on these, I guess the best way to describe it is like jet ski style, like water sports, where they're just like zipping around and throwing, you know what I mean? It's like, as you're watching this, you watch suddenly the ocean. There's a chill. I'm not even gonna try to pass this one over you, but each one of you gets a chill when you watch, because you watch as the earth begins to shake a little bit. You watch water start to pull up, almost like gravity is reversing, pulling away from the water. It's from the surface of the water, and you see the sky, the clouds above, also begin to spiral, almost like something has got it on a string and is pulling it this way. And then,
So did people die?
We recorded injuries, but we haven't seen anything to indicate that.
Mr. President, we understand completely how this may appear. This is not the first time the first contact, the introduction of Starfleet to an alien culture has led to speculation, to concern. We completely understand that this timeline does not make us look great. I'm going to tell you right now that what you may have experienced, unfortunately, may be something that we have experienced in another part of space as well. It's something that we have become aware of. And I am promising that we're going to try to do everything we can to get to the bottom of it and give you and your people answers that they deserve. But I can assure you, it was nothing that our presence did. It's not something that Starfleet brought to your wonderful culture. We will figure this out. This is something we've seen in other parts of space, like I've said.
Yes.
So we're gonna try to figure this out.
Captain, I don't believe that you would deliberately bring your people here to be crushed at the bottom of our ocean. But my citizenry, and
it's fine. It's
I can contain this, but the timing is awful for both of us.
I understand. We'll try to help in any way we can. All I'm saying is that we understand how, and rightfully so, people would be wary of our presence, and we're going to try to do everything we can to assuage some of those fears and trepidations.
Good.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Captain. And please extend my gratitude to your people in Starfleet.
I will do that. Also, can I just say, you have a beautiful culture here. Those sports looked pretty awesome. That was pretty cool.
Thank you. I'm eager to find out what your people play.
Yeah, we got some good ones. We got some cool stuff.
And then his eyes slowly turn, and how he missed, he doesn't know, but standing there quietly like a mountain is the Klingon.
This is, apologies, this is Commander Talash. He's a representative of the Klingon Empire. As you can see, he's a very powerful and intimidating and very strong, brave culture that he's representing.
Notices that he's not wearing a Starfleet uniform and is kind of looking it up and down.
He is our guest. He's our visitor. He's our guest.
I am their friend, he says with this rows of teeth that causes Yano to just kind of...
heart's aim.
Please proceed with your rescue operations.
Chief, can you go ahead and grab a copy of that scan of the facility? The same, Lieutenant Commander, if you could get a copy of the information.
Captain, I'd like to send a message.
To the front,
What's
grabs,
Okay.
puts it in.
Okay.
Zips it up.
And I'd like to send a message to my science team, to Lieutenant Correa, in advanced research, to please start comparing the data from their experience to what we have.
Do the thing.
Baker, you did cartography when you first arrived in the system for first contact.
Yes, sir.
If you can transmit it to Commander Talon's team, we can compare and see if any of the celestial objects have changed position to any degree.
So this is that.
We don't know. We need to compare the data.
It seems very likely.
I will get that information to you right away.
Great.
You can send it directly to Lieutenant Correa.
I will do that.
I will take that information as well, Lieutenant.
Of course, Commander Talash.
And any information that you might have to share as well, if the Empire knows anything that might be able to help in this situation. We would
All I know is the Empire documented one of the largest asteroid fields we've ever seen moving something.
Crazy, right?
Captain, permission to pull some people out of some rubble?
Yeah.
Yes. What would be the easiest way to do that?
We could try to beam them out.
From up above, from orbit.
How many people? Well, first off, we should find out how many people are down there.
I would be able to tell them the number of people that were in our
The number of people that were in your unit were 9. There was 9 Starfleet officers that were doing first contact.
Was
and
it
they
just them down there?
No.
So
they were
so
being
there's a lot of
they were down there specifically because as part of this cultural exchange and like introduction, they were literally being led on tours. They were literally being toured out to show what technology they have and how their species is advanced.
So there's 9 of us and however many number of whoever.
To operate one of these hydrothermal plants, there's probably close to about 200 to 300 of their people down there, or at least there were.
I tell them that.
It's going to be a lot of beaming. Is there a way?
Evacuations, earthquakes,
But-
Yep, it's the start of a season.
Yep.
Is there a way that we can do a scan and see how many get an exact number of how many life forms that were?
Well, we
You
already
might
try.
We already do
Exactly. You might be able to actually make connections down here that you probably wouldn't be able to do because of the lines that they have. He also informs us that they have direct lines that go to these stations that took a long time to build, but they actually have that.
Right,
They've been
they have
discovering
landlines.
but they've been disrupted.
Water.
But they do have some connection down there.
Shall I?
This would be
let's try
maybe
to
us
make a
two.
connection.
to
Let's
make the
do this.
connection that's going to require the two of you working in tandem
That's what we're doing.
to make the repairs and
Okay.
then
Yeah.
Mr. President,
let's do
can
it.
you point us to some sort of a station where we can make that connection and try
of course
to...
yes this way
Okay, right
leading
there.
you into the next room.
Chief Ensign, that's all you?
Yes, sir.
Chief Ensign reporting for duty.
Mixed President, how do you normally get down to the station?
Robots, so how about you?
I'll take lead.
We have conveyors that take us down.
How many can they carry? What's their capacity?
Well, depending on what classification they are, we can transport up to 200 people at a time.
Okay.
Oh, that's
If we
good.
could clear the rubble enough to evacuate, that would be much more efficient than beaming 6 at a time.
But I wouldn't mind getting the doctor down there to see to any wounded, if there is in fact any.
It's true.
So perhaps
Yeah.
go down on.
Beaming her down and then at the same time clearing out the rubble.
Yep.
All right.
Right. We're going to try and fix the thingy.
Remember?
Not my first rockfall.
You're going to have to fix the thingy next episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I just rolled a crit!
Staging rescue operations for the next episode of Shield of Tomorrow.
Yeah, can we just keep that crit roll the crit over? Remember
that's
what
a different show.
Aki, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
What a wonderful surprise that was.
We will make sure that Lieutenant Dorothy Baker gets to do her thing for the rest of this mission.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for introducing us to her.
attached member of our ship
I don't know what you're talking about.
Deal,
Just
all
different
NPCs.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We do
One
like
thing
that.
that makes me happy is that you guys are on Saturdays for me now, so I don't have to miss anything anymore.
No, that's right. Yeah, being in
Good,
Japan.
good, good.
Pretty nice.
We're in the
So
future of
we
Japan.
will come back here. So next episode, we're going to try to stage some rescue operations. There's a lot
Okay.
going on, and possibly the appearance yet again of that damn thing.
We
called
got to
the
figure
pole.
that out.
Yeah, we've got to figure that out. It's getting bad. It's spreading. It's
Someday
like a
we'll
disease.
get to have a
It does seem to be
hypothesis time
becoming
do
more
the
frequent.
science.
If this is the pull, it is becoming more frequent.
And expanding.
following
It's
But
happening
us.
places.
remember, y'all are in the Shackleton Expanse.
Yeah.
So there's a
following-
lot
Yeah,
of there's a
Gravity's
lot,
already like
there's a lot of
super
anomalies.
normal and fine, you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay.
thank you so much for joining us for our first episode back for 2018. Stay tuned for Gather Your Party. And
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yep, and we will see you next Friday for another episode of Shielded Tomorrow. Until then, hailing frequencies are closed.